Yep, we're live.
Sweet.
Hello, Hailey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's
How about
good.
you?
You seem like you're always doing great. You always have
I
a big
try.
smile and positive energy.
Yeah, I try to be that way for sure.
Is that intentional, or are you just like that?
I'm just like that.
Yeah.
There's definitely days I have to be intentional about it, but it's just who I am. I think I've always been pretty positive, pretty happy. I'm in a service industry, so I'm always having to show up and be 100%, and so it's just habit too.
A difficult industry too. Gym ownership.
Yeah, gym ownership. Oh my gosh. And what a transition from coaching into ownership. It's like two wildly different roles.
How so? What's the big difference?
Yeah. In coaching, you just show up positive energy. You're always giving to people. But then it's definitely like a labor of love. And then when you shift into ownership, like you have to make money.
Sure.
It's a business. So you can't necessarily be soft about it. I think when I first shifted into the business ownership side, it was a challenge for me to ask people for money because it's like something I just love so much. And it's like a piece of my heart that, getting comfortable asking for money. And that was the biggest challenge for sure. But now I'm in a position where I'm like, I know what I'm worth. Oh yeah. I know what I'm worth. And like, I need to be paid for my time.
Sure. That's a hard thing for gyms. I've seen MMA gyms over the years struggle with that very thing you just discussed. That's why it's nice to have a gym manager so you can remove yourself from those awkward conversations about where's your membership dues. Yeah, for sure.
I'm definitely wearing that hat right now. I am gym member, manager, coach, janitor.
Oh man.
Accountant,
all of it.
everything. But I'm definitely shifting into a place where I can offload some of those tasks and get back to the things that I really love about being in the gym.
And on top of that, you're competing all the time.
Yeah.
At least it seems like to me. Seems like you're always training for something.
For sure. Just training for life.
Yeah.
Just training for life.
Yeah.
Larger in a charger. No, I do. When I'm training, I like to have something that I can train for. It just gives me a little bit more drive, a little more intentionality behind my training. I find if I don't have a program, it's easy for me to just kind of float around. It might not seem like I'm floating around, but just inside it feels a little less productive.
Yeah.
So training for something just gives me that productivity. It gives me something tangible like, hey, I know I'm getting better at this. But this year I'd say I've shifted away from that mindset quite a bit. Because in that mindset, it puts a lot of pressure on you.
Sure.
And pressure is good to a certain degree. But it was definitely becoming detrimental that I had to step away and learn how to train hard for me and just to see what I'm capable of and get away from trying to compare to other people and produce an outcome to make people love me. So, yeah.
No, that makes sense. It is hard to stay disciplined when you're not training for a particular thing though. Like for me, especially with diet. It's like, well, why am I not going to eat some mac and cheese right now? I don't have to cut weight.
Oh my gosh. I totally get that. For sure. Yeah.
Well, you work out at a pretty badass gym. I mean, you have your own gym, but you do some of your training at Strength Built, which is where we met. And I had my last workout at Strength Built this morning, which I'm a little sad about because I'm going to miss that place. It's a badass gym.
It is amazing. It is so cool.
It is the only gym I've ever really enjoyed working out at.
Yeah. They're constantly getting in new equipment. Yeah. It's a good vibe. And everybody's so friendly. I feel like it's small enough that you've got kind of that community aspect of it that you don't really get from a Gold's gym necessarily.
For sure. Yeah. I can't do commercial gyms at all. I'll just go work out at the park if I have to. I'll do chin-ups and dips on the monkey bars.
Yeah.
But I cannot be in a commercial gym. But for sure, what you said is true. There's a lot of badasses over there, and badass people are usually very laid back. Like whether it's weightlifting or martial arts, I could walk into, after years of being in MMA, I could walk into an MMA gym or a jiu-jitsu gym. And within 10 minutes, I can figure out who the nice guys are and who the dickheads are. Or rather, let me say that differently. I can figure out what everybody's skill level is based on their personality, because the jerks are always the ones that have something to prove. So just the way they shake your hand, the way they introduce themselves, they're already competing with you.
Yeah.
And the really badass guys are super laid back. Oh, hey man, what's up? You came to grapple? Oh, cool. Come on. Like we'll start in 10 minutes. Like they're just super cool.
Totally.
And it's all just hugs and high fives. And then, and you're like, okay, this guy I need to watch out for. You know?
Yeah.
You can tell right away. I mean, there's some monsters at strength build, like Richie, I don't know his last name. I can't say his last name.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody he can't even say. His Instagram handle, I think, is the Texas Brute, and that's what he is. Spencer Tyler, Ricky, who we talk about, Ricky Laribas.
Oh yeah.
You two are probably the two people at that gym that motivate me the most. Like I've told you this before. Like when you're there and when Rick is there, you were both there this morning. I train harder.
Yeah.
Not so much today. I'm not gonna lie. Today I was just like, fuck it. I was like, I gotta go home and pack. I'm moving tomorrow, you know. But yeah, you guys are always on top of it.
Man,
especially
I really appreciate
Rick.
That. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Rick is intense.
He is. No, but you too. Like I remember one time I was doing farmer carries, and you were doing farmer carries that same day too, coincidentally. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to take it easy today. I'm going to do like 250 pounds, you know, I'm just going to have like, I'm going to go for time. That's how I bullshit myself. When I don't want to train hard, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go for time.
Yeah.
And then you're in there doing, I don't know, 350, 400 pounds, something. I don't remember, but it was at least 100 pounds more than what I was doing. And I was like, I'm a bitch. So I had to add a little bit of weight. I'm like, Hailey's showing me up right now.
Oh man.
And I mean, you know, power to you. I mean, you're a badass. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's cool. I definitely don't train with the intention of making other people work harder because I'm just there for me. But I do think that that's like an added benefit that I get to be almost like a permission slip for other people to push it. Some sort of inspiration like, oh man, she can do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you need those people around you, whether it's working out or business or whatever it is, you need those people around you. Otherwise, because you kind of just blend into the environment. Like you kind of become what you're surrounded by. And Louis Simmons always said the most important thing in the gym is a training partner. And the next most important thing is a power rack.
Like that.
There's a lot of truth to that. Right? Like Westside Barbell, I went there about 6 years ago. I talk about this all the time. And those guys are at each other's throats in there. I mean, you really feel like these guys might get in a fight right now. They're just they'll start betting each other. What's going to be your PR today? Well, I'm going to do this. You're going to do that. Well, here, I'll put $100 on it. And they start betting money. They start getting fights. It's a crazy environment in there. There was a guy, I can't remember his name. He used to work out at Westside, and he said at one point Chuck Vogelpaul was challenging everybody to a calf raise. Just like who cares about a calf raise, right? But he just started challenging everybody and they started doing things to the calf raise machine that is not intended for, with bands and put more plates on.
Gosh.
And they were like, it got to a point where either the machine was going to break or one of us was going to tear a calf.
Yeah.
Like it's just that's just how they are.
Yeah.
And it's not really smart. It's good in a way, but it's not. There's maximal training, there's minimal training, and then there's optimal training. And optimal is what you want to strive for.
Optimal is where you want to be. Yeah. And usually optimal is letting go of the ego.
Yeah, you have to. Well, it's also having enough belief in yourself to know that, for example, you don't need to take a max a week before a contest. That's a big thing. There's powerlifters that have had their best lifts in the gym. They never made them onto the platform because they just wear themselves out getting ready for contests. Yeah. Same thing with fighters. They're sparring 5 days before a fight. I'm like, dude, what if you get a cut?
Yeah.
You're out of the fight.
For sure.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I think just recently somebody at the gym training for a big show, and I think 2 weeks out he maxed out his deadlift and busted his back.
Oh,
and then didn't perform well in the competition. Yeah. And I think that's a mindset of like, I'm competing to perform well, obviously to perform well at this competition, but almost like comparing yourself to other people, like I got to beat them versus trusting that process and just training, knowing that doing your best every day is going to lead to the end result.
For sure. It's to me, it's a lack of confidence. It's anytime I see somebody doing last minute training like that, it's like, it reminds me of when I would try to cram for exams. Yeah. I try to cram for it because I wouldn't study all semester. And then 2 days before a test, I'm trying to memorize the entire book. And it got me through college, not with very proud grades, but my GPA is kind of embarrassing, 2.89. But I don't need it anyway. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Who cares about a GPA? But that's what it reminds me of. And that's because, and I would sit there and I would cram because I know I'm not prepared. So I would tell guys like, dude, you're trying to learn a new ankle lock technique 2 days before a fight. You think that's actually going to be incorporated? No, no, you're going to rely on what you know. Same thing with powerlifting, or is that, you've competed in powerlifting, right? But you've also competed in strongwoman.
Yeah. So I've done powerlifting, strongman. I've done a bodybuilding show.
Is it still called strongman if you're a woman?
Oh, yeah.
It's just called strongman.
I know some people are like real. Some people get real weird about that, but it doesn't really bother me. It's strongman, strong people, strong woman,
strong person.
We know what we're talking about. Yeah.
There's somebody that's saying we shouldn't refer to it as Mother Nature anymore. We should call it person nature.
Oh,
just to be inclusive.
That's something. Cool.
Is there one you prefer more than the other? Powerlifting or strongman?
I think I prefer strongman more for sure. I like training powerlifting because it's like there's 3 lifts. That's it. Like you're either getting stronger in your bench, deadlift, squat. It's pretty apparent in your training, but in strongman, there's so many different implements, so many different events that unless you're training for a very specific show, it's kind of hard to gauge how you're doing in the off season. Yeah,
I can see that,
but it's a lot more fun.
Sure. Oh my God, yes.
Way more fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think MMA training should be a lot like strongman training. Just with strongman, you're doing much heavier weights for shorter bouts, but you could do those same activities for the duration, for a duration that replicates what you're going to be doing in the fight. So if you're fighting 3-minute rounds, you would do strongman stuff for 3 minutes at a time. If you're fighting in the UFC and you're doing 5-minute rounds, you would train for 5 minutes at a time. But you could carry a sandbag for 5 minutes, take a minute off because that's where you get in a fight, and then you can go in for another 5 minutes and walk in the belt squat or push a wheelbarrow or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's the difference is what you just mentioned is powerlifting is a very specific sport, just like Olympic lifting. You're graded on in powerlifting squat, bench, and deadlift. So you're training for 3 specific things. Strongman, much like CrossFit also, is a GPP sport. You're just generally fit. And just like you said, there's not one thing that you need to be good at. You need to be good at all of them.
Yeah.
So it does make it more fun because you can do so much stuff.
Oh my gosh, totally. Yeah. Half the workout is just pulling out equipment and putting it away. But funny you say that about the fighting. There's actually a workout in CrossFit. It's called Fight Gone Bad. And it's 3 5-minute rounds with a minute of rest in between.
Okay.
6 minutes. Yeah. 6 minutes around. 5 movements, 1 minute in between rounds. Anyways.
Okay. So 5 minutes with a minute in between. Yeah. Just like a UFC fight. Yeah. That's one thing that always, I feel like fighters overdo it with the training. They feel like if they're fighting for 5 minutes, they need to train for 8-minute rounds and so on. And I disagree with that because what you want to do is maximize your performance within that 5-minute time span. It does you no good to be at 80% for 8 minutes. It's better to be at 90-95% for 5 minutes. Like if you're sprinting 100 meters, why are you going to train to sprint 110? You're only graded on 100. So wouldn't it make more sense to focus on being faster in the 100 than running 110 at the same rate?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense. I think people go get a little wacky with that stuff, and they want to run 5 miles and bike for 3 hours and do Ironmans to get ready for a 9-minute fight. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's a little too much. That's not necessarily translatable to what they're doing.
No, the idea is that you're going to have a lot more conditioning, and so the other guy's going to wear out before you do. But I just think that's not how it works. It's false. It's better to give a much higher output in those 3 minutes is what I'm saying, than to train yourself to go at a slower rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any competitions coming up?
No, nothing coming up. I'm considering doing something in August. There's an online qualifier and then there's an in-person qualifier for OSG.
What's OSG?
I'm doing it because Jordan thinks I should do it. Richie's pushing me to do it. That's just the next competition.
Didn't you qualify for, was it nationals?
Yeah.
Your first competition you qualified, right?
Yep. Yep. So we did Strength Built hosted a strongman competition, and like a month before, they're like, "Hey, you should do it. Sign up." So I was like, "All right, let's do it."
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was so much fun, and I did a little bit of training for it, but I think just with everything that I'm already doing, that general physical preparedness, I was able to jump right in. Ended up taking first place. Went to nationals. At nationals, I think I got 6th or 7th place. Qualified for the Arnold, and at the Arnold, I placed 8th. So
wow.
yeah. And that was the last competition I did.
Okay.
So I took a little bit of a break, and that was in 2022. So yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh yeah, cool. You still got a long way ahead of
Yeah.
you. You'll still be competing for a while. Probably.
Oh, for sure. That's the plan.
Unless you're planning on having 10 kids.
Oh God, no. Oh my God, no. If any kids, I don't know. We'll see. I'm real on the fence right now.
Really?
Yeah. I think I just love the way my life is going right now. I love the freedom that I have. I think I'd be a badass mom. I think I could really make some great humans, but it's just, I don't know. I got a whole other list of things that I want to accomplish before that
makes sense
in the cards.
That makes sense. That's a tough one for women. That's a real thing that they have to contend with, their careers versus motherhood. And with certain things, you can do both successfully, but with things like sports, you got to take time off. There's just no way around it, months at a time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean, you can still train late in the pregnancy, but you can't really train.
Yeah.
You can stay kind of fit.
Oh, for sure.
But you're not going to be doing the stuff that you're doing now, for sure.
No, you did.
Otherwise, the baby might come out at 6 months.
Yeah.
Sumo deadlifts. There's the baby on the platform.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. It is pretty cool. There's been a handful of professional CrossFit athletes, women who have trained through pregnancy, and you can still see their abs through their pregnancy belly. But I think it's more important that they are going into pregnancy so fit that they are decreasing training, but still their capacity is so much higher. So they're able to train harder than the average person.
Sure. Those babies are going to come out aggressive.
Oh,
they're in the womb. They're in the womb fighting against, bulging ab muscles and everything. They're like, Mom, I don't have any room in here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was kind of the joke too, that Tia Claire Toomey's baby did better than 90% of the people in the open. In the CrossFit Open. Right? Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, she's
mentioned somebody.
CrossFit athlete.
Okay,
she's like tip top.
Okay.
#1 lady.
Anyways. Cool.
Yeah.
I wonder though, I've seen videos of I saw a video one time of this lady. I mean, she was late in her pregnancy. Her belly was huge and she was doing a full-on WOD. I mean, I assume lighter weights than what she normally does, but I mean, full-on Olympic lifts and pull-ups and box jumps and all of it. And I'm like, can you get shaken baby syndrome from that? I'm like, I know amniotic fluid provides a lot of cushion, but still like, that's a little extreme, lady.
Yeah.
But some people get so caught up in what they do. They just cannot take time off.
Oh, for sure.
Like they can't even slow down.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a guy, I just talked about him the other day on the podcast. I forgot his name, Neil something, because I had a podiatrist on the show, and this guy was a jiu-jitsu coach, and he was developing arthritis really bad in his middle toe. And the doctor told him he's got to take like 9 months off the mat or something. He's like, well, why don't you just remove my toe? And so he just got rid of the toe. He's like, I don't need my toe, but I need to keep training.
Wow. Dang.
Dedication.
Yeah. That's extreme.
For sure.
That's extreme.
I don't know if I'd give up any toes.
Yeah, probably.
I'd be like, what? Yeah, no jiu-jitsu. All right. That's cool.
Yeah. Find something else to do.
Yeah. Just like take up paddle boarding or something. I don't know. That's one thing I'm not going to get to do in El Paso anymore.
Paddleboarding.
Yeah. Because there's a spot over here where you can get on like 10 minutes away, where you can get on I think it's the Guadalupe.
Oh, okay. In New Braunfels?
Yeah. I think it's like exit 190 or something, like right before the Buc-ee's. There's an exit over there where there's a boat ramp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I totally do. I've not been over there, but that's where you usually go.
It's that's the place that I've gone to the most, just because it's so close. It's not the prettiest scenery to go paddleboarding in, but it's nice and it's just so close.
Yeah.
I mean, I could drive out to Lake Belton or whatever, but
right. Yeah.
I don't want what 2 hours for what? Yeah. I'm just trying to get in the sun on the water.
Yeah. Seriously, you got to do that around here in Texas. Get in the water as much as possible.
If you can find water.
Yeah.
It's not a thing we have or can enjoy in El Paso. But you know what? If you drive an hour and a half into New Mexico in various directions, there's mountains and lakes, and
yeah.
it's not that
Just
bad.
gotta drive
Yeah.
hours to get out of Texas.
From here, yeah.
Yeah.
From here for sure.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go check out Arkansas. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. No, but we keep talking about that, like going to the Ozarks, and it looks amazing.
Ozark is Mississippi, isn't it? Missouri.
Is it?
I think Ozark
Maybe.
is Missouri. Is it like the show Ozark?
What am I thinking of?
I think that's Missouri.
There's something. There's water. There's pretty water.
Oh, Arkansas is beautiful. I mean, I've seen pictures and I know people who have been there and they go, dude, that's a gem that nobody talks about.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just a place
that's
that
not
people
one you think about. Yeah. Arkansas. What's there?
Guns and rednecks.
Exactly.
Probably moonshine. I'd fit right in.
Yeah.
I'd fit right in with the redneck
there
people.
we go.
Yeah. I want to buy a ranch out there someday, maybe.
That'd be cool.
I want to buy a ranch somewhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, like if I have kids, I plan on having 20.
Wow.
If I do, yeah. Right. But I'm gonna have like 7 wives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I gotta go easy on.
Yeah. When are you gonna start this process?
In the next few years, once my YouTube career takes off.
Okay, there we go.
I'd have to stay home to be a devoted father and husband. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of wives.
I think one woman is a lot.
Is it a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what your husband says? You're a lot.
Not that I'm a lot, no, but it's dynamic.
That's a good way to put it. No, but I've always thought if I'm going to be a parent, I'd like to be living on a ranch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have a gym and have a place for the kids to run around. Just build a jungle gym for them outside.
Totally. Yeah. Growing up, I lived on 5 acres in Washington State, like right on the Columbia River. And man, we were outside all the time playing, dirt biking, running, everything. Built a tree house, paintballing, shooting guns, airsoft, like everything. We were always outside. Yeah.
That's very cool. Talk about a state with a lot of water.
Oh my gosh.
Plenty of water there.
Seriously. I know. The Columbia River, that's a river. Coming to the Comal, I was like,
oh yeah,
is this a creek?
And it's swampy and just
but it is so nice to have.
For sure. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But Washington is beautiful.
Oh my gosh. It's insane. Yeah. And I grew up in this little town, Lake Chelan, and we're just surrounded by mountains, this 53-mile long lake, crystal clear, glacier fed, just beautiful.
I went there 2 years ago, actually, exactly 2 years ago.
Where'd you go?
So flew into Seattle, spent most of the time in Auburn, and I hiked Mount Rainier.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
Never done that.
I mean, I don't think I was actually on the mountain, but I was on some trails.
Like or you go around the base of it? I know there's a ton of trails there. And
I was on some trail.
Yeah.
That's all I know. And I was looking at the mountain. I could see it. Yeah. But I mean, you could see it from anywhere. But it was so nice. And just breathing that crisp mountain air. There's something so good about that. It's so
different. It's so refreshing. And you just you feel alive.
You feel your lungs just thanking you when you take that.
Yeah.
You take that deep breath on a mountain.
Yeah, it's something special.
So good.
It is.
We don't have that here.
No, we don't. We don't. That's definitely one thing I miss about Washington is the mountains and the access to public land. I think here it's a little more challenging to get to places. A lot of the places along the river are privately owned and there's only a handful of spots to get in. But up in Washington, you just pull off the road and you go jump in wherever. But the people here though, and the communities, there's definitely a Southern hospitality here that I didn't really realize until I came down here. And like immediately people were like taking me into their homes and I was part of people's families. I'm like, you just met me 30 minutes ago. But it's like I'm going to invite you into my house and then I'll decide whether or not I like you. And up in Washington, people are nice, but it's a little bit more like I'll be nice to you, but what are your motives? Like a little more skeptical.
You definitely feel that way in certain areas. I've heard LA is very much like that. LA, everybody's got their guard up because everyone you meet is trying to figure out how you can help them become a star. And if you can't help them become a star, they're just, they don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
But no, I flew into Washington and then I spent a couple days there, went out on some lake in my friend's neighborhood. And then I wanted to go catch salmon. But we didn't do that because my friend sucks. He's sending me pictures of two, actually. One buddy of mine in Washington, the other one just like a few hours south in Oregon. So I went there too. Went to Portland. That whole drive is just magnificent.
It's insane.
It's one of the prettiest.
The Pacific Northwest is God's country. It's amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's its own beautiful thing. Like there's a lot of pretty areas, but just around the world. But it was really, really nice. I don't enjoy driving whatsoever. I did enjoy that drive.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
There's so much to look at.
Yeah. But I did want to go catch some fish because years ago, I don't remember exactly when this happened, but hunters were hired to trim the bear population up there. So now salmon are growing in insane numbers, just giant salmon. Yeah. And like the rivers are full of them. You could just, you can basically walk up there and just grab one and pull it out of the water. And they're huge. And so I wanted to go get some, but like I said, didn't happen.
Shame on you.
They're just always sending me pictures. Look at this fish I caught. Look at these crab. I'm like, bro.
Oh, crab.
And like huge crab.
Insane. Yeah. We went to Washington for Thanksgiving. I went and spent time with my husband's family, and one of the side dishes was crab legs, and like fresh caught crab legs that morning. They brought them in from the Puget Sound, and oh my God, it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
good.
You douse them with butter?
Oh yeah. Dunk those bad boys in butter. Yeah.
I've never had crab legs.
You're missing out.
No, it's a sin. I'm Christian.
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, I'm pretty sure that's forbidden.
Really?
Yeah, crab, shrimp, lobster, all those things.
Huh. Fascinating. Is that really why you've not ever had crab
no,
legs?
I just don't. I don't like them. But that's what I tell people.
Oh man, you gotta you gotta try some like fresh crab legs.
Maybe it's the texture. It's a texture thing. I'm a texture guy. Texture for me is probably more important than flavor.
Yeah.
And like I was at some restaurant, some fancy restaurant one time, and I ordered a side of mac and cheese and didn't realize it was lobster mac and cheese. And so it had chunks of lobster in it, and I ate one, and I'm like, yeah, like that's not for me. No, because that chewy kind of
almost slime.
The way the meat breaks.
Yeah.
Under in between your teeth, just
fascinating.
Like big shrimp too. I can't do it.
What about mushrooms?
I like mushrooms.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine come on the podcast in El Paso. He's a big mushroom head, like psilocybin mushrooms.
Okay.
And he walked into the studio and he's like, "Damn, it'd be cool to do some mushrooms in here." I was like,
with the background. Oh like, my God.
You can.
That's funny.
Yeah, you could take some. Let's do a podcast with him on mushrooms. It'd be fun.
Fascinating.
But no, I don't. That's. I mean, we don't have fresh seafood here. I mean, maybe catfish or something. But
yeah, that's.
Catfish sucks.
It sucks. I'll just say that I've never had good catfish.
Never. No, it's impossible. Yeah. No. Muslims can't eat catfish.
Interesting.
Yeah, they don't eat anything that doesn't have scales. So they cannot eat catfish. And they also don't eat anything amphibian. So they would not eat crab or lobster. Shrimp is okay, I think. But because crab will go out onto the land and back in the anything amphibian they don't eat.
Interesting.
All these every religion's got its own rule about what you can eat and can't eat. I'm like, bro, just eat it.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, I just eat it.
I don't know. Religion's interesting to me. Yeah. Like, just be a good person. Like, what kind of rules do you really have to follow other than being a good person?
Yeah, but then religious people will tell you that how do you know how to be a good person if you're not following Christ or following Muhammad?
I get the merit for sure, but I think innately people are good, and it's pretty simple to be a good person. I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy. The ego gets in the way for sure, but I think it's a lot simpler than people give it credit for.
The big commandment of the 10 Commandments that I disagree with is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. I'm like, listen, coveting creates jobs. That's what stimulates the economy. Okay. Leave coveting alone.
Oh gosh.
You see your neighbor got a cool car, you want one too. Like, leave it alone.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
You ever think about moving back?
When I first moved down here, that was kind of the plan. We were going to stay here for 3 to 5 years, just kind of like live life on our own outside of our families, kind of just figure out who we were outside of them. But then I bought a gym and my husband became a firefighter and we bought a house, and like our roots immediately sunk into the ground, and now we're going to be here for a while. So yeah,
he looks like a firefighter with that mustache.
It's the mustache. Yeah. Even before he was a firefighter, he'd get stopped all the time. Like, are you a firefighter?
Yeah, you get 10% off.
Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
yeah, no, we love it here. We love it here.
Sounds
Definitely, like again, miss the weather, miss the mountains, but man, the community that we've created here and become a part of it's life-giving.
That's kind of how I feel about going back to El Paso. I mean, I lived there for 15 years, right? My family moved. So I was born and raised in Dubai. My family's Lebanese, but my dad, moved to Dubai when he was young and so on. And so I grew up there. We'd go to Lebanon in the summers. So grew up between both places, but I came to the States when I was 14 and we moved straight to El Paso. And I lived there from 2005 till 2 years ago, till 2020. So like 16 years. And it's like, I was there visiting for Mother's Day, and everywhere I go, I know somebody. Everywhere I go, I say hi to someone, whether I go to a Starbucks or a store or Sprouts, whatever. Everywhere I walk, I know somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, when you spend that much time in a place, especially if you went to high school and college in a city, you just end up making a lot of connections
for
and
sure.
then staying there for X amount of years and working. And like, it's the cool thing about it is connections. You need connections to function in society.
Yeah.
At least the way I want to function in society.
Yeah.
So like, if I need a lawyer, I can call somebody. If I need a realtor, I can call somebody. If I need a commercial realtor, I can call somebody.
Yeah.
Like right now I've got, I called a friend of mine, as in somebody I know. We've never hung out or anything, but I know him. And he's trying to find me a warehouse because I'm going to set up my own gym now that I'm moving back.
That's right.
Gyms in El Paso suck.
Yeah.
It just sucks. So I'm going to just do my own thing.
There we go.
And I'll also be able to put my studio in there, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't creep me out, but I've had some people come to my house where I'm
like, I don't feel comfortable in my house.
Yeah, I've had like 50 strangers come to my house to do the podcast. I'm like, so I do want to make it commercial. I feel like it's better for me and for my guests to be in a commercial building.
For sure. Yeah. Seems a little more professional, a little less casual, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a pretty casual
conversation
thing, but I think I would, if I was invited onto a podcast, I'd prefer to go to some office building or warehouse as opposed to somebody's crib. But but so yeah, like it's just I'm connected. I know people. It's cool. I know where to go shooting too. I could drive 10 minutes down into the desert. And blast off. Here I can't find a decent shooting range to save my life.
Yeah.
That's a tough one out here.
For sure. That's a really cool thing about the CrossFit community, at least the community at my gym. Like, I'm so connected with so many people. It seems like almost anybody in New Braunfels, I'm within 3 degrees of separation. I know somebody who knows you. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice to be able to have people to call on, and
for sure,
I totally get that. Being connected.
Yeah. And I mean, you've lived here for a while, and New Braunfels is so small.
So small. It's big. It's like 100,000 people now, really? Something like that, or at least it's getting close. But yeah, it's still got that super small town feel.
For sure.
I'm definitely in just a little bubble, and I love it.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm not a fan of big cities. I could never live in a New York or LA or Miami. I can't. Houston. Like Houston is just awful for me.
I lived in Seattle for a little bit. I went to the University of Washington for a couple semesters, and I was tough. I don't like city living for sure. Yeah. I like a slower pace, and
the thing about Washington that I just like, Washington is nice from about July till September. And then it's just fucking raining and raining and raining and raining.
Well, that's it. I mean, in Seattle on the west side or the east side of the mountains, it's 300 days of sunshine a year.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So that's where we grew up. It's like always sunny.
That's
when it rains, it
sunshine.
doesn't.
No wonder.
It doesn't rain too often. And
how did you grow up in such a gloomy place?
Right?
And you're smiling. That doesn't make
oh my gosh!
sense.
When I was in Seattle, I was depressed.
For sure.
Like, I need the sunshine for sure. For sure.
I think they have the highest suicide rate in the country.
Oh, probably. Yeah. It's just so crowded. It's just landlocked. Like, there's no way to grow except for up. So it's super crowded, busy tech company. People are just like in this dog race, and there's not a lot of like slow down and enjoy how beautiful it is. And so.
I never thought about it as a kid. I guess when you're a child, you don't think about these things, but growing up in the United Arab Emirates, living in flats and skyscrapers. Everybody just lived in a skyscraper. I mean, like a short building was maybe 14 stories tall or something like
crazy.
that. It's like that's a short one. My uncle lived in Burj Khalifa for a little while, the tallest tower in the world. He lived there for maybe 6 months, and he goes, "Fuck that." He's like, "Man, I got to take separate elevators to get up to my apartment." He's like, "I'm out of here."
I can't even connect with that. The town that I grew up in was like 5,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It's a small town. I graduated with 90 kids. I know every single one of their names and pretty much know what everybody's doing now. And
that's cool.
Going into the city was tough.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And just like you feel like when you're living in buildings like that, you're like, how many people are piled on top of me? I don't like that feeling. I like space. Like even right now, my neighbors are too close.
Yeah.
Can I have a few more feet? Yeah. Social distance.
For sure.
You're too close. When did CrossFit really start blowing up? I feel like it was in, let me give you my guess. You correct me. 2010.
Yeah. I would say for sure. I think in 2008, it really started gaining traction. And it might have been 2010 that they hosted the first like CrossFit games, but it was pretty much open to anybody. Anybody could go and do it. You didn't have to qualify for it. But I think maybe in 2010, that's when it really launched off into the sport side of things.
I remember for a while, I was still in college, and CrossFit gyms were popping up left and right. I mean, they're like on every street corner, like coffee shops. It was just insane. It was for a while, it was CrossFit gyms, and then it was frozen yogurt shops. Yeah. So it was in the span of maybe 3 years. That's really like,
for sure.
They were everywhere. And I used to criticize it because not the activity itself, but like, I'm like, there cannot be this many qualified coaches.
Oh man.
They're just like, how are all these guys all of a sudden, like, hold on, like last month you were fat selling cars. Now you're a CrossFit coach and you own a gym. Like, well, what happened?
I think that's really where CrossFit gets its bad name, where people are like, oh, you're going to get hurt in CrossFit, or they see the games and they're like, I can't do that. But you're not going to get hurt in CrossFit if you have a good coach.
For sure.
If you have intentional programming. That's the biggest thing. Like at our gym, we're intentional about our programming, and we're going to make sure you don't hurt hurt yourself. We're going to stop you from hurting yourself too.
As a good coach should.
Yes.
I actually got into a little, it was just like via DMs, a bunch of, I was getting some unpleasant DMs from a group of people. Cause there's a CrossFit gym in New Braunfels, and they had an ad that popped up on my feed. I don't follow them. I don't even know who they are. It just popped up on my feed, and there's this overweight woman doing box jumps. And I commented something. It was, I worded it more respectfully, but the gist of it is fat people should not be jumping. And they didn't like that. And so I had like 4 people attacking me in the DMs. And what do you know? Where did you get your certification from? I'm like, get out of here. You got some 300-pound woman doing box jumps. I don't.
Well, that's impressive.
I don't feel good about that.
First of all,
sure.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm good for her.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
think a pitfall that people fall into too is like trying to go too fast, too soon. Like
with everything.
Moving from where you should be, like the slow and steady pace. Like maybe you should be doing step ups, but if you're already doing box jumps and your body's not ready for it, you're gonna lead to injury.
Yeah, and so. And to be fair, if she's stepping down from the box, it's not that bad. It's the jumping off the box. That's dangerous.
I hate that. I don't even the super fit people. Yeah. I'm like, no, we're stepping down off the box.
Yeah, that's
like,
smart.
We're not blowing ACLs, Achilles. We're stepping down, reset.
Yeah.
For sure, there's merit to the rebounding if you're in a competition, but like general preparedness, physical preparedness, step off the box.
For most people, they don't need it. If you're doing it to develop reversal strength, that's one thing. But for most people, you don't need it. And I would say, well, don't you have to? I mean, aren't you doing things for time though with CrossFit? Don't you have to jump off the box? Like if you're actually in competition, wouldn't it take too much time to step down?
Well, in competition, yeah. But even in a workout at my gym, like sure we do stuff for time, but we're still, safety is number one.
For sure.
So step off the box.
That's good.
The big thing, I keep saying the big thing, but in my gym, our philosophy is we want you to kick ass into your 90s. We want you to get fit, not to become a better gym goer, not to become a better CrossFitter, but to just be a better human outside of the gym. Like, it's more important that you move safely and efficiently in here and not get hurt.
Yes.
So you can go do the things that matter outside the gym.
I agree with that totally. I mean, most people, they don't need to have a big jump. They don't need, like, it's just,
you don't need to have a 500-pound deadlift
right.
or a 400-pound back squat. Like, you do need to be able to deadlift because you're going to have to pick stuff up in real life.
I like
You're going to be able to back squat because how else are you going to get up and down off of a chair? Step ups, box jumps, like getting up and down stairs. All that's super important and translatable in real life, but you don't need to push it the way that CrossFit athletes or games athletes do.
How do you program workouts for large groups of people? I feel like that's a real tough one.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. I think my gym's definitely a little bit more strength biased. I think.
What do you mean by that?
I like that. We go through a lot of strength cycles. So we take maybe 5 to 8 weeks to intentionally like build a better back squat.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll pair that with conditioning workouts too. I think with general with big group.
Can I take you back real quick? When you say you take a block to build a bigger squat, what shift in the training is there exactly? Like, what are you changing in the workouts? You're doing just more squats in general?
Yeah. So when I program for a block, a 5-week block, we're going to squat on Monday. Every single Monday, we'll do like either a 5x5 program. We'll do like 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 6, 3 sets of 4, kind of re-go through that. And either we're aiming to test a 1-rep max, a 5-rep max, whatever. But we spend a good majority of that class or the entire class on that movement. And then the rest of the week, we're doing everything else.
Everything else?
Like
just the general CrossFit stuff?
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Like we'll power clean, snatch, deadlift, bench press. We do bench press a lot. I like to bench press. Yeah.
What's your biggest bench?
200 as
why do you say it like that?
Because I know I can do more.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think whenever I've like peaked, quote unquote, peaked on bench press, I've never tested that max. So I feel like when I've had the capacity to do more, I've just not tested that 1-rep max, but that's also just a big excuse.
I mean, there's body types too. Some people are built to bench press. Like for me, I'm definitely not built to bench press. Mm-hmm. My arms are too long and too skinny. Mm-hmm. I'm not really built to powerlift anyway. I'm built more for endurance sports, which is why I do well in fighting. The long limbs, high endurance serves me well in wrapping people up in chokes and all that kind of stuff. Why do you do block training? Why did you go that route?
It just gives it a little bit more intentionality. Like we have a specific focus, and it's good to give people a goal too. Like we were talking about earlier with training. If you don't have something specific to train for, you're not going to maybe train as intentionally. So
that I can see that definitely being beneficial. If you have clients coming in every day just doing the WOD just for the hell of it, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, now we're going to focus on this thing and making it better. Now, at least for the next 5 or 6 weeks, however long a block is, they have a focus,
and you can see the tangible progress too. Of course, like if you just follow general fitness, whatever you do, you're going to throw in some heavy days here and there. You'll see progress over time, but it's nice. It's a nice confidence boost for people to be like, man, I just added 5 pounds to my squat. That's awesome. Or like I reached greater depth in my squat after 5 weeks just because we've spent so much time working on it. So it's not just PRing via weight, it's PRing with technique too.
Do you break up your classes into beginner, intermediate, advanced? So like maybe people who are just starting out, you have a class where you focus more on teaching the movements?
No, when the people come to our gym, we do 5 one-on-one sessions with people to just go through all of our general movements, spot any major flaws, make sure they're moving well, and make sure they're also suited to go into class. After those 5 sessions, we decide like, okay, you're ready to go into class, or maybe we should work together one-on-one a little bit longer. But once they're in class, everything that we do is scalable. We can change movements. We can change heights for things. Like for instance, if somebody can't back squat to full depth, we can change it into a box squat. So they're still getting the same stimulus and the same intention along with the class, but something that they can actually do.
Yeah. Now, so this is talking Gen Pop. when we're talking about you, for example, or other athletes that you train, are you doing block periodization as well? Do you structure your training that way?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I know you have your coach Jordan as well, but how do you guys do it? How's your training structured?
So with strongman, because I'm working, that's how I'm training. It changes every 2 weeks. So we'll kind of have a general theme for our training, but then every 2 weeks we're changing it up. So if we're doing log clean and press for 2 weeks, we're going to do just the press. And then the next 2 weeks, we'll focus just on the clean. And then the next 2 weeks, we'll maybe put it together at high reps. The next 2 weeks, we'll do lower reps. So we're trying to progress on those movements, but it changes every 2 weeks.
Well, the reps, I'd have to, I don't know, that gets more complicated. But what you're saying with the 2 weeks and then switch it, that totally makes sense. I mean, that's the basis of the conjugate method, right? You're just constantly switching what you're doing, the main lift and the accessory work. I feel like after about 2 weeks of a certain exercise, I'm just not interested in it anymore. Like I'll go through phases where for 2 weeks, I'm doing just tons of pull-ups, almost every workout, upper body, lower body, I'm finishing with pull-ups or whatever the assistance work, the accessory work that I'm doing is, whether it's standing leg curls, reverse hypers, whatever. Some things I always make myself do, like the reverse hyper, because it's therapeutic. But after about 2 weeks, whether it's a main lift or an accessory exercise, I got to switch it. And that's the law of accommodation, right? I just posted something about that on Instagram the other day. The law of accommodation states that the response of a biological object to a constantly given stimulus decreases over time, which is exactly why after doing a certain exercise for so long, you get sick of it and you don't get any better at it. After eating your favorite food for 5 days in a row, you're sick of it. And you don't have the same response. So that's, I totally agree with that. Now, are you doing, are you incorporating strength and speed? Are they intertwined in your workouts on a monthly and yearly plan, or are you doing those in blocks as well? Like you're doing a month where you're just doing max effort, and then you're doing a month where you're just doing explosive work?
It's all kind of mixed in together. So we'll do a power lower day and then a speed lower day, a power upper day,
within the same week, or within. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's usually power lower, speed upper, speed lower, power upper. So it's kind of flip flop.
Yeah. Yeah. Something.
So it's like strength, speed. Yeah. Strength, speed.
72 hours apart, probably. A few days apart. No. Back to back. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Train all the time.
Yeah. No. Well, what I mean is, of course, I mean, you're going to be working out in between, but
the leg days, they have 2-3 days in between.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like you would do maybe speed squats on Friday and then max effort on Monday, but then you would do speed bench on Saturday and max effort on Wednesday, for example.
For sure.
Like that. Okay. Yeah. And then in between you do accessory work.
Totally.
Focus on weaknesses, that kind of thing. So that's West Side. That's how West Side trains. That's the West Side system. What Louis Simmons calls is wave periodization as opposed to block periodization.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which is your training. So every week you're maxing out, but on a different lift or a variation of a lift. And then, or maybe every 2 weeks you switch it. I think at Westside they're big on switching it every week, but the speed work goes 75%, 80, 85%, and then you wave back to 75%, which is why they call it wave periodization. Gotcha. And that's where speed strength is trained, right? 75 to 85% of one rep max. So sounds like you're doing a similar plan.
Yeah. I just trust Jordan too.
Oh, he's good.
Just tell me what to do, which is nice because I'm programming for the gym. I'm programming for personal training clients online, in person. I'm just constantly writing workouts. So when it's time for me to work out, I could probably design something for myself, but it's nice to have somebody else just tell me what to do.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever argue? You're like, no, I don't like this. We need to switch that up. I'm not doing rows today, Jordan. Damn it.
No, I wouldn't say argue for sure. Yeah. But I will definitely give feedback. Yeah. And it's not very often. It's like, I don't really like that move. Can we not do that ever again? No, or just not in the future, or have some sort of variance off of it.
I feel like an athlete has to some degree give feedback. You have to, otherwise you're just not involved in your workouts. You're showing up, you're doing it, you're going home, you know. But if your mind is actually in it, then you're going to be monitoring your response to the workouts you're doing. And you're going to realize, okay, this exercise, I get a lot out of this exercise, but that exercise gets a lot out of me.
Totally.
And so you need to communicate that back to your coach.
Yeah. Just being present with yourself.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I think so. I was just about to ask you something. I forgot. What was I going to say? Oh, are there exercises that you completely hate and you just won't do them, even though you feel like sometimes they could be beneficial, but you're like, I'm just not doing that damn thing.
There used to be the big, tall row machine at the gym. It was in the back room.
Oh, yes. Yes. The Sorinex one. Yeah.
Yes.
45 degree.
I hate that thing.
Really? I love it.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I've done a different variation where I don't feel like I have to climb 30 feet to get on top of it. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just the design of it, but not my favorite. The seal row too, the one where you're just laying flat on the bench.
Love that one.
I do like it. It's just tough. It's just hard. So I'll do that one, but that big tall one, over it. I'm over it.
So just to clue people in, you're talking about a 45 degree back row machine that's made by Sorinex, and it's so overbuilt, it's preposterous. Yes. Like I'm 6 feet tall, and I sometimes have to place a block next to it to step on it to get it. Yeah, it's crazy.
My gosh, it's just not. It's not very elegant in its design.
No, it's not, but I love it.
Yeah.
I'm bummed out that they extracted that from the gym this last. They're going to put it outside. They're building the outside section, so it's not gone forever. But I love that thing because it is so ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That thing probably weighs 500 pounds.
It's got to. Yeah, I'm surprised they took it out of that back room. Such a pain in the butt to move.
You know what I did one time? I got by the way, the design on that machine, I do have to say, they really thought it through. I love how the handles have 180 degrees of rotation.
Yeah, that is super cool.
You just push it and twist it. It's so easy.
Yeah.
They
could have done that, but like 3 feet lower to the ground. just bring it down. I'm not that tall.
Get taller.
I feel like I'm like playing on the jungle gym, getting into that machine.
Yeah, things ridiculous.
But the angle change that is super cool.
Very clever engineering.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
And one time I got a couple of carabiners and I attached the mag grips to it.
Oh,
I was doing like 40 more pounds than I normally do.
Hell yeah.
Because just those mag grips also where have those things been
cool.
forever?
I know. God, yeah. Totally changes up your grip strength.
You can for sure pull more weight with those things. Just because you're gripping
you just have
stronger.
Like a better lock.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the harder you squeeze, the more muscles you recruit to do an activity.
Yeah.
I love those
Big
things.
Fan of those.
So yeah, I attached them. But then the problem is with the length of my arms and the extra, whatever it is, 4 or 5 inches from the mag grip and the carabiner, I couldn't extend all the way. I couldn't get very full extension.
Hopefully Sorinex doesn't hear you and build it another 3 feet off the ground.
They're gonna make it even bigger. Hailey's gonna need a step ladder.
Funny. Man. Yeah.
The seal row is really good too. That's where you're lying prone.
That one's cool. It's like, it requires a lot of like back stability.
So
much. Big time.
Those are probably 2 of the best exercises you could do for back development. And pull-ups. But definitely those 2. Those face down rows. I've seen a seal row machine. I don't know who makes it. And it looked like a very sloppy design, to be honest. I just saw a picture of it one time where it's kind of like a massage table where there's a hole for your face.
Okay.
And to me, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of awkward when you're rowing on. Yeah, you either have
like
to
this or your face down. Yeah, for sure.
It is kind of
a little uncomfortable sometimes, but
I like doing the seal rows with those. What are those called? They're not dumbbells. They're not kettlebells.
Oh, the center mass.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I do like that too. That's a little bit better. I feel like I can almost get more range.
Yes.
With those.
For sure. Those are cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen another gym that I've never seen those at another gym.
No. I feel like a little kid whenever I pick them up.
Yeah.
Do you ever put those olives on your fingers? It's like the same thing. It's like 2 giant olives on your hands.
They're cool.
Yeah.
They're they kind of go hand in hand with that juggernaut they have on the wall with the
the big old round head.
I just feel like I want to pick them up and just knock people out. Except you can't. You need very light ones. You can't swing them around.
Gosh. Yeah. They get heavy.
There's some cool stuff in there. I just love when you walk into a gym and you see a lot of rogue fitness Elite FTS, Sorinex, you know that they're
not skimping.
They're not cutting
like this
corners.
is high quality equipment
for sure. Yeah. When I had Doc on the podcast, we didn't talk very much about the gym, but because I had him in here for like 2 hours, and you know how he's a quiet guy.
Yeah.
And, he keeps to himself. And after about 2 hours, I just felt like I was torturing him.
Yeah.
we talked about so many. We didn't even have time to get to the gym. It was just like maybe the last 10 minutes of the podcast, and I was like, I think he wants to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a sense for. I just felt like it was time.
Sure.
He needed to go. I was like, okay, Doc, thanks for coming in.
That'll do. He's a fascinating guy.
Yeah, very
Super
nice guy
cool.
too. Yeah,
super cool. I didn't know his first name for probably the first 2 years that I knew him. Yep.
Just Doc. Everybody calls him Doc.
Exactly. Yeah. His wife had texted me. I started doing a little one-on-one training with him at one point, and his wife texted me. It's like, oh yeah, Grant. And I was like, Grant.
Who's Grant?
Grant. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, that's actually. So another funny story at my gym, we put birthdays up on the board, and I know everybody's name. Like, it's my gym. I know all the people. And if somebody new is coming in, like, I'm going to know. And so it was in December, and we have all our birthdays up. And at the very bottom, it was Jesus on the 25th. And I was like, oh my God, like, who is Jesus? Like, I was panicking. I got into my member management system and started looking it up, and Jesus on December 25th. That's somebody put it down as Jesus' birthday. Yeah, it got me.
Slick.
And it's embarrassing how long it took me to figure that out.
That's a big debate amongst religious scholars. Jesus' actual birthday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people say he was born in the summer or fall, I think. I don't know. 2,000 years ago, their calendars were unreliable.
Yeah. It's close enough.
I like Christmas, so I don't care what you want to do. I like Christmas in December.
Yeah.
We don't need to move it around. You could change. I mean, if we decide, you know what, Jesus was born on a different day, I'm like, can we just still keep Christmas in December?
Sure.
Like, it just works out. It works well with New Year's and everything. It just lines up nicely.
It's nice. The holiday season is just a nice little bow.
Yeah, it all. I love Christmas. So she's actually Doc's wife is the one that got him into the carnivore diet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's big on it. I met her one time at the gym, and we started talking about that, and she's a fan.
Yeah.
She's
have you ever done it?
No.
I did it for about 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, which is certainly not long enough to like really feel any lasting effects, but I felt fine. Felt good. Yeah.
Anything different?
Not necessarily. It was kind of hard to say because I had been jumping from so many different diets at that point in my life. I was like, oh, I'm just going to try something new. So I never had a good baseline to really feel the difference, but
2 weeks is not that much time. Yeah, me too.
Carbs. Yeah, and for the longest time I was paleo, and I was not
that was
eating
big
enough.
with CrossFit back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. I was not eating enough carbs. I think maybe on a good day I'd have 100 grams of carbs, and my husband's like, you need to eat rice. Like, try and eat rice. And I was like, no, it's not paleo. I'm not going to do it. And then one day on a podcast, Ben Bergeron podcast, I heard him say like athletes need rice. So I told Logan, I was like, oh, I'm going to try and eat rice.
He's a bodybuilder, right?
Ben Bergeron? No, he's a CrossFit coach. He owns CrossFit New England. He's sent people to the games.
Okay.
He's just very smart.
Ben.
Love his philosophy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like carbs too, and I need carbs. I need rice. I need. I probably eat a little bit too much bread. I think most Lebanese people are guilty of that.
Yeah,
like I can't. Like, I need pita bread in my life.
I gotcha. Okay.
So, there's maybe I could probably cut back on pita bread, but like I'm not fat.
Yeah.
And I'm not competing.
You're fine.
So why would I not eat pita bread?
Yeah,
it's fine.
You gotta find that balance of like enjoyment and.
Oh, there's a place in I went there earlier this morning. It's called Aladdin, Northwest San Antonio. It's a little hole in the wall bakery. It's at a store, international food store. So they have, I go there to get some Lebanese spices and things like that. But there's a bakery in there, and he makes what's called menaish, which is really just a flatbread, but with a specific kind of cheese and this spread called za'atar and so on. And that's the bomb. And he makes really, really good pita bread. So I'll go get some fresh pita bread from there, and I'll eat those cheesy flatbreads. They're so good.
Have you been to Pasha?
I have.
Yeah.
A couple of times. Yeah.
that pita bread.
Oh, it's good.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like the size of your face.
That's not pita bread. That's what is it called? I think
is it like a naan bread?
It's not naan. No, naan is Indian. I think the bread they make is Iranian.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it's really
whatever
good.
It is.
It's very good.
So
for
good.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. That's probably the best thing about that restaurant is their bread.
Yeah. Yeah. We go there frequently.
Yeah.
We like that place. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I do like carbs. Yeah, for sure. Now, what is the paleo diet exactly? Is that taken from the Paleolithic era? You're supposed to
yeah. It's like meats, nuts, fruits, veggies, little starches, and that's pretty much it. So anything that's like grown from the ground, anything that's not necessarily processed is okay.
If you could go back in time with bucket loads of rice and pasta and that kind of thing, wars would have been fought over those resources.
Oh my God, 100%. 100%. Yeah. But as soon as I started adding more carbs into my diet, like different person. Yeah.
Nicer?
Just more energy. Maybe more sure of myself. Yeah. I've recently found that when I'm not eating enough, like hunger, of course, but like anxiety starts to kick in a little bit more and like overthinking happens. So now I feel pretty present and aware of my body when I'm like, oh crap. Okay. If I'm overthinking a lot, it's like, maybe I need to eat a little more food. A Snickers bar. Yeah. You're not you when you're hungry.
You seem, do you get hangry though?
I feel like yeah.
You do?
I do. Yeah. But really only my husband sees it. I feel like I'm pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty good at faking it till I make it, especially being a coach. And when you're on the floor, like you have to bring the energy for people. Sure. You need to help them like facilitate this workout and give them the best experience. So I'm pretty good at hiding it when I need to.
That's good.
So
that's good. Yeah. People should not have to deal with your, I mean, generally your negative mood. I mean, just people in general.
Yeah.
It's weird for me with, so-called intermittent fasting. I don't do it intentionally. There are just days where I just don't eat until the late afternoon.
Yeah.
And then there are days where by 9 a.m. I'm like, where's breakfast?
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Like I've actually tried to pay attention, engage it. And there are times where like I'll get hungry. 11 a.m., noon, I'm hungry for sure, but I'm good. I can keep working. I can do what I got to do. I can even finish work, go to the gym. Like I'm fine. And there are days where it's like, I'm stopping at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Like I
can't wait any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's some days too that I'll feel that. I'm pretty good about eating breakfast in the morning now. I used to like skip it. And like I need to wait as long as possible not to eat. So I eat less and be smaller, whatever. But yeah, some days I'll be fine until noon, and other days it's like 6:45 and I'm like, I need to eat right now.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
6:45 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get up early.
Early. Yeah. I'm usually I'm up at 3:15.
What?
Yeah.
Why? 3:15.
The first class at my gym is at 5 a.m. It's shifted a little bit. I have another coach now that helps me out in the morning, so I'm not coaching 5 a.m. every morning, but I still try and keep 3:15. I have about a 45-minute get ready routine, journal, do my daily gratitude. And then by 4 a.m., I'm trying to be in the gym for my first lift, and then I'll coach and get to strength belt by about 10. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I try to go to bed super early.
Like when I saw you at Strength Build today, you had already gone through an entire day's work.
Pretty much.
And I was just waking up and going.
Yeah. But I'm sure you can stay up way later than I can. Like by 8 p.m., I'm like, oh God. It's
my normal circadian rhythm, and I've tried to change it over the years, but I always default to asleep around 11, awake around 7. And it just happens on its own.
Yeah.
Or really, it's more like 11:30, and it's crazy. I typically wake up and I grab my phone. I look at the time, and it's 7:28 on the dot, like 7:28. Just unless I have an alarm to wake me up earlier. That's just when I'm up. 7:28. That's weird.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Circadian rhythm. There's a thing about circadian rhythm where some people are arguing, and I think these are just people who want to sleep in. I don't know if there's any science to it, but I'm on that team all the way. There's people who argue that there's no such thing as a uniform circadian rhythm, that as we evolved in the jungles of the world, we had to have people who were alert in the morning and we had to have people who were alert at night. People who stayed up by the fire telling stories and feeding the fire to keep animals away throughout the night. You needed those people. Then they went to bed when the sun came up, and the early risers were up and went hunting. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So if you have the gene of the stay up by the fire telling stories all night, then like I heard a comedian, Matt Rife, talk about this. He goes, I'm at my best at about midnight. He's like, I have my best sets at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I'm just kind of during the day, like he doesn't get that many ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely the morning person. I feel like I'm the
you're
you're
nocturnal. You're not even morning. 3 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's kind of weird on weekends. If I let myself sleep in and I wake up and the sun's already up, I'm like, my day is gone. This is crazy. Yeah.
I feel that way if every once in a while I dive in too deep in my sleep and I'm up at like 9:30. Because now by the time I go to the gym and come back home, eat breakfast, shower, get ready, like now it's past noon or noonish, and now I'm like, ooh, I still have a lot to do, and I haven't got. It's already noon. I'm like, oh my god, especially on a Saturday, I'm like, whoa, the day's gone.
Yeah,
but then I just go to poker and just sit there till 2 a.m. I don't have responsibilities. I'm the most responsible person.
Oh my gosh. That's great. You have a lot of freedom on your hands.
Look, I'm unemployed for the first time since 14 years old. Dang. And I'm absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying every minute of it.
I feel like I'd go crazy. But you have things you're working on. Busy. I feel like with this podcast, like you're still being productive. I feel like if I was unemployed and literally didn't have anything to do,
for sure,
then I would go crazy. If I'm not feeling like I'm producing something or being productive, being a productive member of society, then I'm like,
I'm very busy, especially because I'm packing my house. I'm house shopping and house selling. I'm doing this is my third podcast this week. I'm very busy. I've been very busy. I've been busier than a dyke at a hardware store. I've had a pretty full week. So I'm up every night till, I don't know, 11 p.m. just like listening to stuff, music, whatever, podcasts, and just packing. And, but I don't have anyone to answer to. I don't have any deadlines for the most part. There's no client calling me. I need this, whether there's a patient that needs that. And what happened with the medication for this? And blah, 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 blah. So it's just, I'm just not dealing with it. There's no team calls or one-on-one calls with my manager. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. And I've never had that.
Yeah.
I haven't had that. So I started working at 14. I was a butcher, and I've worked straight since 14 years old. And I've always had for a large chunk of my life, I had multiple jobs at once, because when you're working for $5, $6, $7 an hour, it just doesn't happen. You go 60 hours a week and you're still broke. It just doesn't, it sucks. And so I would always like have another job lined up before I leave my current job, etc. And this time I was like, you know what? I have another job ready to go. I'm going to start on the 26th. But I was like, I'm gonna give myself a few weeks between and just take my time moving. I don't want to be rushed. Like, oh my God, I was like, if I was starting my new job on Monday, I'd be like, fuck, that would suck.
Yeah.
So I'm just
undue stress. No need for it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I ate so much pizza this week.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Do you find that when you don't have like deadlines or things you're training for, I guess we kind of talked about that everything else gets a little lackadaisical too? Like your diet or your sleep regimen, or
my diet gets bad if I have an injury that's keeping me from training hard. It all goes together. If I'm in the gym and I'm training really hard, like I get home and I'm thinking in terms of what nutrients do I need?
Yeah.
If I'm going to the gym and I'm foam rolling for 30 minutes and doing some, a couple of things and then going home, I'm like, well, I feel like eating this, and I just eat whatever. So I do have to very intentionally police it, because my diet is the one thing that slips if I'm not training hard. It's interesting to me though, how back in the day, people would fast for religious reasons. And it was a big deal and it's a sacrifice and you're doing it for God and all this stuff, right? And even to this day, you have people that still do that because they're religious and I don't know, they're all like, oh, well, leave me alone. I haven't eaten today. And that sort of attitude. And then you have a whole other band of people doing it recreationally. And they're just like, oh yeah, I'm fasting so I can fit into my swimsuit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for some people, it's like a prized possession. It's like, I haven't eaten for 12 hours today. Cool for you, dude. I feel great.
Yeah.
It's like, I can do it longer than you can, or like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it becomes a competition for some, for sure. People get into silly things. They get into some silly competitions.
People are silly.
We're
all just a bunch of silly gooses.
Yeah, that's right. That's for sure. I know I am.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I thought I'd be playing a lot of poker this week, but I didn't.
I am not a fan of poker.
No.
My parents, when I grew up, or growing up, my parents were in poker leagues. My brothers played. They loved it. Yeah. I've played before and I get it. I know how to play, but I'm just like, I don't know. There's nothing. Yeah. There's no rush for me. I don't get excited about the strategy or not my jam. Just not my jam.
Yeah, I can see that. I do love card games. There's one we used to play in Lebanon I really like. But it's funny, like even most Lebanese people don't know it. But I do enjoy poker. There are some days where I feel like this is stupid. Like because there are some days where you just can't win.
Yeah.
There are days where you could employ perfect strategy. You could play absolutely perfect and you just will not win. The cards are just absolutely against you. And that's the most frustrating thing about it. What I love about martial arts competition is that there's no luck. If you lose, somewhere along the line, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
In poker, that's not the case. Yeah. But there are times where I like it. It is engaging for me. It combines math, money, and psychology, and I enjoy all three of those. So I can sit there. There's very little that I could do for extended periods of time. I could do podcasts. I could sit down with. I could do podcasts for hours at a time. I could talk to someone for hours at a time. I could play poker for long stretches. I think my longest stretch is probably like 12, 13 hours.
Holy smokes.
Maybe a little longer.
Yikes.
At about 15 hours, you're just not really there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time to, and a lot of poker players are on Adderall, Xanax. They're probably going to the bathroom, doing a line every now and then. They need the uppers, but then they also need the Xanax to control stress. If you're playing high stakes, you can just imagine like, oh shit, I thought I was calling the guy's bluff and I was wrong. And now I'm down 150 G's.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
That's a lot of money.
Stressful. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy how many people are on stimulants and medications that help them get through the day. I never used to think about that.
No, it is wild. I think a lot of it is that people are just trying to take shortcuts. For sure, there's some merit in taking things, but it's like I want to feel better, and instead of like drinking water and eating healthy, it's like if I just take this supplement, I'll be better. And they're like completely bypassing just basic taking care of themselves, and that's not in every case, but that's
in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it must be like to be the CEO of some Fortune 500 company, and some news report just came out, and your stock just dropped 16%. And now you have to go into a board meeting and that's a lot of stress. That's big stress.
Yeah.
That's big stress. So a lot of corporate CEOs are hooked on Adderall big time.
For sure.
Speed. Yeah. They need it. Have you ever tried Adderall? Have you ever been on anything like that?
No.
Me neither, but I am curious about it.
Yeah.
You know what struck me is how many people in sales jobs, like we would just at a sales conference, people are just taking Adderall before the meeting at 8 a.m. to get through the day.
Dang.
And they're just on lunchtime, another Adderall.
Crazy.
It's just how they get through the day.
We're
a drugged up country, which is interesting for me that we scrutinize athletes so much for drug use, and the entire country's boozed up and drugged up. Like you go to a football game, you've got a crowd of people boozed up and just drugged out of their minds watching 20 athletes that are sober. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, 20 athletes that are sober but taking steroids.
Sober-ish.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of there's got to be a lot of steroid use in strongman, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Strongman is not a tested
at
sport.
all. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
There's got to be some federation somewhere that is tested, but otherwise, no.
Because in powerlifting, you have tested meets and non-tested meets.
Yep,
so you're kind of just, there's like a silent agreement.
You know. You just know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, oftentimes just by looking at people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Or their voice.
You look like you're on roids. Look at you.
I get that a lot. I do. I do. But I feel like my voice gives it away.
No. There is a girl at Strength Built though. She's a trainer who's absolutely done a cycle of something. You know who I'm talking about. She was there this morning. Okay. Her voice gives it away. Yeah. She's done. I don't know if she's on anything now, but she's done a testosterone cycle.
For sure. Yeah.
You could tell from the voice.
I think there's definitely a safe way to go about it and like use it properly and not abuse it. But I think so many people just abuse it.
For sure. Well, that's the human thing, right? I mean, that's why they don't give you the medication to take home. That's why you got to go to the doctor's office to do it, because the way people think is like, oh, well, 2 milligrams is good, so 4 is better. All right, I'll take 8.
Yeah. More is not better. Yeah, it's like that optimizing thing.
Yeah. I feel like I'll definitely get on TRT at some point in my life, but I get my blood checked every year and my testosterone levels, and I mean, so far so good. So I just don't need it. But I was watching a podcast with Boss Rutan recently. You know who that is? So he's a UFC Hall of Famer. He actually moved to New Braunfels from LA.
Oh, okay.
Probably like a year ago. And he was saying that his testosterone levels are so I think the scale runs up to 1,000, whatever the unit is. I think he said he got his checked and it was like 2,800. And the doctors are like, bro, what are you taking? And he's like, no, I'm not taking anything. Huh. And he said that his entire life, he eats whatever he wants. He drinks a ton of beer. He's the same weight. He's always been the same way. I mean, he's in his late 50s now. He's always been the same way. Just ripped. Yeah. Badass fighter.
Crazy.
Knocking dudes out.
Crazy.
Testosterone's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably high testosterone for as far as women go.
Probably. Yeah. It's pretty, I can gain muscle pretty easily, I guess. I put in a lot of work to do it, but yeah.
Are you trying to get bigger?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
How big you want to go?
I don't know. I just kind of want to keep pushing it and see what I can do. Yeah. As long as I'm still having fun with it, I just want to keep lifting bigger.
Is there a size limit though, where you have to start limiting your muscle growth so that you can optimize your lifts within a certain weight class?
I mean, probably. Yeah. Like if I were to put on so much muscle that I can't cut down to a smaller weight class. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Like you know how in powerlifting they take your coefficient, which is based on, I mean, there's weight classes in powerlifting, right? Because a 150-pound guy can't lift what a 250-pound guy lifts.
Same in strongman. There's weight classes too. Yeah.
So is there a point where you feel like, you know what, my power output at this weight is really high? Or I guess you just keep getting more powerful the bigger you get.
And then you just go to the next weight class. That's what a lot of the lightweights do. They like continue to put on more muscle. How cute. They'll make their way into the middle weight. Yeah. And lightweight's 140. And
for women?
Yeah. And most strongman. Yeah.
140.
Yeah.
And that's
tough.
Quite a bit for a woman. 140 is.
Oh my gosh. That's hard to cut down to. I think naturally I sit around 155. So if I start training for a show, I've got to like cut throughout the training cycle. And then I still have about like a 8 to 10 pound water cut that I have to do before weigh-ins.
How much time do you have between weigh-ins and competition?
24 hours.
Okay. Same as
fighting. It's the day before. Yeah. It's tough.
You could pass out under those loads if you're not well hydrated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If hydrating your body is one thing, hydrating your brain is another. That's the tough part for fighters too. That's some of them expose themselves. I think way more. Their risk of getting knocked out increases a lot because of the weight cut because they're so dehydrated.
That makes total sense for sure. Yeah. After my weight cut for the Arnold, I think I went like a 24-hour period without ingesting anything, no water, no food, just breathing and trying not to murder. But after the weigh-ins, I went and got an IV, and that was a huge help. Cause like it's almost impossible to try and drink enough water, enough electrolytes to replenish yourself. Like you've got to go.
Sure.
IV.
You saw to ban those in the UFC. MMA fighters can no longer take IVs.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which I don't really. I
Yeah,
don't see
what
why.
was the reasoning for it?
USADA's being USADA.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
They're cracking down on anything. There was I've heard fighters just tell horror stories about being woken up at 3 a.m. and like they'll stand there, like, you know how you go to get a drug test for work or something. Well, I don't know. I mean, you have your own job, so I don't know if you've had to do that, but they're like, okay, go in there. Here's the cup, right? It's like USADA will sit there and watch you.
Yeah.
Like, bro, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
It's like,
invasion of privacy.
and it's at random times. And there was an incident with John Jones at one point where they showed up randomly to test him at Jackson's MMA, which is where he trains in Albuquerque. And the story was, nobody really knows what happened, but the story was that John Jones hid under the cage. And so the guys from USADA sat there. They're like, okay, well, because they showed up. Where's John Jones? Oh, he left. They go, okay, well, at some point he's got to come back. It was early in the business day. Like, well, at some point, surely he's going to come back. So they sat there waiting. The guys thought they would leave. Nope. They pull up a chair. Like, all right, well, wait, we got nowhere to be. So a whole day goes by. They shut down. They close down for the day. The guys end up leaving. And then rumor comes out that John Jones was hiding under the cage. Yeah. So they got a warrant, or I think they were trying to get a warrant to go back in and scrub under the cage for pee, under the theory that if he hid there all day, at some point he would have had to pee.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's how they were going to bust him for drug use. And I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, I mean, come on,
that's
guys.
crazy.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
I think just let people fight. Let them take whatever helps them fight. Let them take it. Yeah. I feel like you would probably enjoy fighting.
I don't know.
You just like lifting things?
Yeah, I do like lifting things. I like just relying on myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's a different mindset to go into fighting. I don't know if I have that aggression. I don't know if I have that grit enough.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have aggression in the face of getting hit by other people. That's a different kind of thing, because you have to have a disregard for your own safety, and weightlifters have a disregard for their own safety, but in a slightly different kind of way. You could trust yourself to carry that stone or do that log press or whatever.
Yeah.
But in fighting, you have the other element, which is like, can this guy break my jaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to subject myself to getting the shit beat out of me. So
have you ever had braces? Or Invisalign or anything like that? Okay, yeah, so you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I had braces too, and I was like, funny. Yeah, I'm not going to. I spent too much money on my teeth.
That's funny.
I need to get my nose fixed. I'll probably do that this year.
Oh, yeah? Did you break it at some point?
There's a little break right here.
Oh, okay.
And I have a deviated septum. I got it checked out. My breathing isn't terrible, but some days I have trouble breathing. I got to use a spray before going to bed.
Oh, gotcha.
So it'd be good to get
it. Yeah.
Once I have that surgery, it's over. I mean, I don't really spar anymore anyway. But we were talking the other day about Steffi Cohen, because she transitioned from powerlifting to boxing. And she's really smart in that, like, they asked her, why'd you do boxing instead of MMA? Somebody asked her in an interview, and she goes, well, at this stage of my life, it'd be too much to learn all the skills required for mixed martial arts. But boxing, I could just focus on throwing hands.
Yeah.
And she's doing really well.
Yeah. Seems like it.
She just
I really only follow her via Instagram.
Same.
So yeah.
She won her last fight. I don't know how, I haven't seen it, but I think she's like 3-1 now or something like that. 3-0-1. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's so powerful.
Oh my God. She's amazing. It's so cool.
She really is.
Didn't she squat like 500 pounds? Didn't she break or deadlift, or I don't know. She lifts a lot. Impressive.
Yeah, I don't know her numbers. I know she has 25 world records in powerlifting.
Yep.
And at least one of those she set after she started boxing.
Oh.
I mean, she's boxing, I think, at 112 pounds.
Yeah, which is crazy, because I think when she was powerlifting, she was at like 125, maybe 130, and she was cut up then.
Oh yeah,
like just straight up muscle. And so,
well, her pictures at her weigh-in, I mean, she looked much more slim
for sure. Yeah,
but she still has that power.
Definitely.
I can't even imagine a 112-pound girl getting cracked by Steffi Cohen, who deadlifts probably 500 pounds or something. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The way she moves, she's just so athletic.
Yeah.
I love watching clean movement in athletes. My favorite lifting wise, all time favorite lifter to watch is Laura Phelps. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
So Laura is the strongest female powerlifter of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she squatted 775 at 165. I think that was her best squat.
Damn.
And to me, her technique, no matter what she's doing, whether it's a squat or a clean or a bicep curl, is just flawless.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Wow.
She's trained at Westside with Louis Simmons. So Westside has produced the strongest male lifter all time, David Hoff, and then the strongest female lifter all time, Laura Phelps.
That's pretty cool.
Dave Hoff is like, 3,000 plus total. And then Laura's numbers are just crazy, but she's such a technician. She's a masterful technician.
Yeah. I think my favorite athletes to watch are Olympic lifters, like watching people snatch ungodly amounts of weight and the speed that they get under the bar is insane. Yeah. If you ever watch that slow-mo, like the bar pulls so high and they get themselves under the bar.
They got to get under.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's why Louis Simmons used to have Olympic lifters. He never really trained Olympic lifters. They used to ask him about that. And he goes, if I had Olympic lifters in my gym, we would have gold medalists in America. Because it's true. Like as a nation, we suck at Olympic weightlifting. We haven't produced any champions. The last I checked, we had one girl who won a bronze.
Yeah. Maddie Rogers.
I don't remember.
No.
You probably. You might be right. I don't remember.
She's good.
Yeah, but we don't have any gold medalists, right?
Totally.
They're all Chinese and Russian.
Yeah.
So he does talk about the squat under and why having bands over the bar improves that. So like you were deadlifting, what was it, yesterday or the day before? Whatever. I saw you earlier this week deadlifting with the bands, but you were doing something a little different. What he would do is you'd get a mini band and you don't want both strands over the bar because that's too much. You just put one of them over the bar and do your cleans that way. It's going to increase the time, or it's going to shorten the time of you doing the squat under, getting under the bar. I know very little about Olympic lifting, but that's the theory behind it. And it's going to reduce bar deceleration because you have to pull against that band.
Yeah.
Best thing for speed work. Vasily Alekseev. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he used to be I read a thing about him where he was a Russian powerlifter and he would go into the water. He would take a bar out to the beach and he would do his cleans in the water, either with the water at knee level or at hip level, or sometimes at chest level. I don't know how he'd do that. Probably like up to his waist. Cause if it's at your chest, you get under, your face is going to be underwater.
Yeah.
But that was his version of the contrast method, which is nowadays what we do with bands and chains and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. Give you some ideas.
Yeah.
There's no beach here though. I don't know where you would go out here. You can't do it in the river. That would suck. Probably step on a turtle while you're out there.
Yeah, probably so.
For sure. She's a special person, that Steffi Cohen. I do want to get her on the podcast one day.
Yeah.
Should be a fascinating one to talk to.
Oh my God. Her story.
Very smart. What's her story?
I
mean, like outside of sports?
Yeah, I feel like outside of sports, because she's not from the US.
I think she's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know her story, but I know that it's fast.
Yeah. Just professional. No, I know what you mean. I mean, just the things that we know. Like,
yeah.
So accomplished. For sure. You ever going to write a book?
Yeah, at some point. I think when I was a little bit younger, I was definitely more excited about it. And like, I want to write a book about being positive and living your best life. And then you live a little bit more life and become a little more cynical, and those dreams die out a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Who hurt you?
Really? You Miss Happy?
I know. There was a period that I was not so happy. I was still outwardly projected happiness, but not the inside did not match the outside. Okay. I'll just say that. But
that happens.
Yeah. I think that'll definitely happen at some point. I want to inspire people. I want to motivate people. I want to be a factor in people becoming the best version of themselves.
Do you think you can?
Yeah.
I don't mean you personally. I mean anybody in general. Do you think that's actually possible? To
become the best version of yourself?
To help people become something better than who they actually are or are meant to be? I've wondered about that.
I think everybody has the capacity to be something great. Like whether it's mindset, doing something. I think mostly it's the mindset part of it. Like if I can inspire somebody to stop being so negative, that's a win. I think that's already shifting somebody into becoming a better version of themselves.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I've just wondered, and I don't know, I'm not arguing one way or another, but I don't know if some people can be helped. Like
you definitely have to want
for example,
to be helped.
Sure.
For sure.
But I feel like if you want to improve, then you'll just improve. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Like so-called self-help books. George Carlin had a great joke about that. He's like, if you're motivated enough to go to the store to get the book, then you don't need the book.
Oh my gosh. The other day I was in FedEx and there were like 12 different self-help books with the most gimmicky taglines, like the 5 ways to stop procrastinating, the 3 ways to stop being lazy, and like so many things. And like,
how do you stop procrastinating? Stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
How do you go to the gym? Go to the gym.
Yeah. I don't know. People just get so wrapped up in their own stories. Like, I can't do something, or just start pulling themselves into this negative headspace, and you get stuck doing that. So sometimes I think having somebody else help you see past those stories opens the door for them to continue to grow.
It could. It could. I wonder if, like, it's like with eating healthy. It's like with getting in shape, right? People ask you, well, what should I eat? You already know the answer.
Yeah.
Like there may be, I mean, like,
so
come on.
You know what to do.
Right.
You know what to do. Oh, but like, can I take a specific supplement, or
correct?
Is there, what's the way I can do it in 5 days?
Sure. Yeah. Like I always get messages around April about how to get abs by summer.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you ever seen
12 months out of the year.
Right.
That's how you do it.
You ever seen that meme? Don't blame the holidays. You were fat in August.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I saw something else too. It's kind of an offshoot, but it's like people be on Instagram talking about how they're doing the 5 minutes of cold therapy and like, I'm so tough. It's like, well, try training for years and years of your life and then tell me how tough you are.
For sure. I think I posted this on my LinkedIn just recently. You should look to hire athletic people, because when you look at somebody who is in shape, you automatically can form a particular set of conclusions about them. You know, that person's reliable. You know, that person shows up when they need to. You know, they're disciplined. You know, they do what they must do, regardless of whether or not they feel like doing it. Because I don't know about you, I work out every day, but maybe twice a week I actually want to be in the gym. The other 5-6 times I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go. I'm gonna put my shoes on. I'm gonna get out the door.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And some days it's just like, okay, I just need to get in there and start moving. Start moving.
I always tell myself, I'll get to the gym some days and I'm just moving around, picking up a dumbbell, put it back down, and then the thing I always tell myself is the sooner you start, the sooner you finish. I just always repeat that to myself, because I really don't want to do it. And part of it is we know what we're about to put ourselves through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not really looking forward to it.
Right. For sure.
But, we might look at somebody like Steffi Cohen or any of these lifters that we're talking about, for example, and draw inspiration from that. We say, wow, that's a person that really, that I can look up to. But people who cannot be helped will just look at them and be like, damn, that person's crazy. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, guys will be sitting on the couch watching Arnold smoking weed. Damn. That fool's crazy.
Yeah.
And they just sit there.
Or it's like, oh, that it's so easy for them. Like, oh, they grew up that way, or they
have a high metabolism.
Yeah. Completely disregard all the hard work that goes through it, and like having to overcome yourself and all this self-doubt and motivation and just doing it anyways.
For sure.
Yeah.
I get the high metabolism thing a lot from people.
Do you?
Oh, damn, bro, you're so lucky you have a high metabolism. I'm looking at the guy eating a shrimp po' boy with French fries and a beer. Yeah. Well, you just put in more carbs than I've had in the last week, and you don't work out.
Yeah, for sure.
People are full of excuses.
It's simple. It's simple. Maybe not always easy, but it's simple.
It is simple. It really is simple. It's like weight loss. Okay. Output more than input. Done.
Yeah.
Next problem.
Yeah. Patience.
Patience is a big one.
Like taking a step back and looking at the big picture. People get so caught up in like, I need to be in a specific point right now, right this instant. But if you keep getting yourself wrapped up there, you're not making those little tiny steps that are going to add up to the big picture.
So I'm sure you've dealt with this over the years of being a coach, but I'm sure you've had clients come in and they have everybody gets, almost everybody, I would say, gets those initial results where like they drop the first 10 pounds like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then your body's going to need to reestablish homeostasis. So it's going to kind of settle for a bit at your new weight because you just dropped 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So now your body's going to be like, okay, what's going on here? Are we starving to death? So you're going to chill.
Yeah.
You're going to establish, and then you're going to have the next drop. But a lot of people will just completely rebound after they stagnate that very first time. I'm sure you've dealt with that, right? Like you've had people come in and like, well, you know, I was 213 on Sunday and I'm still 213 today. And you're like, yeah, but you were 223 last month.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of that rebound happens from crash diets too. It's like, I'm going to eat 1,200 calories, do it for a month. And of course you're going to lose 10 pounds, but you're not going to be able to sustain that. And so you'll go back to normal eating, but your body's also going into the starvation mode. So you eat more than you should and gain it all back.
That's why it's important to think long-term.
Yeah.
You look at, you know, what's crazy is like, you look at a high school training program, it's 4 years. You look at a college training program, it's 4 years. You look at an Olympic cycle, it's 4 years, but then people want results by summer.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes time. It took you time to get to the place you're at now. It's going to take you time to get out of it.
That's what I try to tell my mom.
Yeah. Oh, there's only so much you can tell your parents.
Ooh, don't I know
That's a rabbit hole.
Are your parents fit?
They're very active.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very active. I think my dad's a little bit more into the fitness side of things, and my mom plays a ton of sports.
Okay.
She plays tennis, softball.
She used to play soccer. Tennis.
Yeah, for sure. So, but my dad, plays basketball. He used to go to this core class. That's really kind of how I started getting into fitness. Was during the summertime, I'd go play morning ball with my dad and all these other old men. And then we'd go to this core class, a medicine ball class. It was a minute at each movement for 45 minutes. And we just move the whole time. So, yeah.
Do you get your athleticism from your mom or dad?
Yeah, I'd definitely say both of them are pretty athletic. Wow. Yeah. And, but not necessarily graceful. Yeah. I wouldn't call myself graceful either. Like I'm athletic and I put a lot of effort in. I think I get that effort and that drive, but I was getting more like hustle points on the basketball court than I was, like doing all these fancy moves. And yeah. I was more of a try hard athlete than a
that
naturally gifted.
That's why you ended up in strongman.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting better. Like I can, my snatch is looking a little bit better and, but it's taken a lot of years to get to that point. So
you're, you probably only go to country bars because you can only two-step.
No, I can dance. With enough alcohol. I can do anything. I love to dance. I really do love to dance. And actually in high school, I took ballroom dance class. So I know how to East Coast, West Coast swing, foxtrot, waltz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cha-cha slide.
Cha-cha. Yeah. But it's fun. My husband too, separately, he took some swing dancing classes too. So when we're out having a good time, sometimes that'll like come out of us and we'll start whipping each other around on the dance floor. It's fun.
I always joke. I say white people invented the 2 steps because if it had any more steps, they couldn't do it.
Oh my God. My dad can't dance at all. He can't move his hips.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Probably wouldn't make a good fighter. The best fighters are good dancers.
Yeah.
Or at least they can be.
All right.
Because you got to have rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's all hips.
For sure. Yeah. My husband's a really good dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably make a great fighter. Does he fight?
He did in the military.
Okay.
But not anymore. I think he'd be interested in doing jiu-jitsu, but we'll see. Probably down the road.
I do recommend 10 Planet San Antonio. It's in Universal City. It's about 10 minutes from here. And they have a Sunday open mat from noon till 2.
Oh, cool.
And it's a really good crowd. You could just show up. Anybody can show up. It's open for everybody.
That's cool.
And that's where I've done the majority of my training since for the 2 years that I've lived here. So if he wants to just get his feet wet.
Yeah.
It might be better. I mean, I don't know if he has any experience or not. Probably like Army combatives and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So he might be able to just show up at open mat and get a feel for the place. But if somebody's brand new, it's probably better to go to a class first.
Yeah, I bet. I definitely need to go to a class first.
You want to try it?
I think it'd be fun, fascinating, just something new. I like to try new things, just challenging things. So
they've got some good. They've got a good crowd over there.
Cool.
I've enjoyed it. I would say I'm probably 50-50 between my dad and my mom's genes. My dad is just a powerhouse. He absolutely could have been a powerlifter, strongman. I think it would have been scary if he got into MMA.
Yeah.
Because he just, to this day, has some of the thickest hands and strongest grip and thickest neck I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like one time, I mean, he like did tons of just hard physical labor as a teenager. But for most of his life, he was a truck driver, and he was still just so freakishly strong. One time, there was he was going to work, and there was a car blocking him in the driveway, and he moved the car. He just lifted the back end
and just moved
and scooted it about only like a foot, but still, he's like, he moved the car out. It's just like natural. Just like, I'm gonna move the car. Like,
that's
what?
Crazy.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
He's freakishly strong.
I'd say I have my mom's legs. My dad's arms.
Okay.
We grew up on the Columbia River, and whenever we go like water skiing or barefooting, whatever, he'd always come back and his arms would just be pumped, like massive shoulders, his forearms all super big. Yeah. So
my dad used to load center block onto a truck, I guess. So he would grab 4 center blocks with each hand. This is like when he was 15. And he would load 500 of them. He'd walk up a staircase onto the truck, boom, and he'd load them, and then he'd drive and go unload them, and he would do that all day long.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, just think of in terms of volume, like we think of it in terms of repetitions in a gym. He's doing thousands of reps a day, and that volume just adds up over time to so much strength.
Oh, for sure.
So he used to do this thing when I started fighting, because that whole like father-son thing. Like, oh, you're a fighter now, and he'd like shake my hand, and he would just squeeze. And he'd be like, squeeze, like that's all you got. And I'll try to squeeze his hand, but like I could never win that battle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like you can let go now. Like he could make me tap out just from a handshake.
Dang.
Just freakish grip. Genetics are an interesting thing with humans.
Yeah.
When you look at, for example, grizzlies. They're all kind of in the same ballpark, but you look at humans. You get like a Francis Ngannou or a Brian Shaw or some monster, and then you get like I don't know, like Tony Hinchcliffe, comedian, skinny comedian, like just some skinny guy.
Such
like
variance.
oh my god,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It definitely has a lot to do with just where we grew up, how we evolved,
a lot of
all that. I just recently started listening to this book, Emotional Inheritance, and it talks about how traumas can be passed down through generations. One thing that they cited, I think, Holocaust, that the next generation had a higher cortisol output, like as if they were preparing to be in a stressful situation like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So like evolution is happening on such a small scale,
and it builds up over
already.
time.
Yeah.
I heard about an experiment similar to that, where it was done on mice. Everything's always done on mice. Poor mice. It sucked to be a mouse. Fuck, like it's funny how we decide there's animals that are just sacrificial.
Yeah.
So they got these mice and they put them in a thing where the floor can shock them, and they would spray this lemon scent. And every time they would spray the lemon scent, they would shock them. And they did that over, I don't know how many times. And then the new mice that were born into that colony, even though they had never been shocked, when they would spray the lemon scent, they would freak out.
Yeah.
Like it was passed down that quickly. It's pretty crazy. There's certainly learned behaviors genetically. I mean, just watch a dog take a puppy out on a walk and watch them sniff things and pee, and a cat will dig a hole. And they just do these things. You don't have to learn them, but human babies, fuck, you got to teach them everything.
Yeah. Everything.
You don't know how to do anything on
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Not ready for that.
No.
Not ready for that.
Do you think you're just not very maternal by instinct? Because like I'll tell you, my sisters, are complete contrasts.
Yeah.
One of them, the oldest one, all she's ever wanted to do is be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And by trade, she's a pediatrician. So like she just wants to be around kids all day.
Yeah.
And then the other one, she was in kickboxing and judo and lifting weights and no kids. I don't see her ever having kids. She might, but yeah, I mean, she's just, I feel like she's just not maternal by instinct.
Yeah. I think I used to be scared that I didn't have a maternal instinct, but I trust myself enough. Like I would be just fine, but it's definitely not like, I don't feel drawn to having kids. I don't feel like that desire to create life right now.
I don't either. I just think long-term, that is the one area of my life where I think long-term. I think because right now I'm involved in so many things and I've got so many hobbies and my schedule's so full and it's great. But what are you going to look forward to when you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s? You're going to look forward to the kids coming around, the grandkids coming around. The kid just graduated, the other one just got engaged, whatever. Like that's what you're, like what are you going to be doing with your life when you're 75?
Yeah.
Strongman competitions, probably not.
Traveling the world.
When you're 75, you think so?
Yeah.
Would you go by plane or ship, or how would you travel?
However.
Have you been on
whatever
a cruise?
The best. I've been on one cruise. Yes.
And?
Not my favorite. That is the epitome of gluttony. It is fascinating.
Is it?
There are some fascinating humans that go on cruises. Have you ever been on a cruise?
Hell no.
Oh gosh.
No.
It's a lot of people
I don't think
on
I
a
ever
little
will.
boat with just endless amounts of food and
that's the
drinking
draw, right?
and gambling and I don't know. Just that weird energy on cruises for sure.
It just seems like if there's any ball outbreak, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Cannot get away.
I could do something like a Viking cruise. That's
what is that?
Oh my gosh, where is that? It's a much smaller cruise and you travel, like it's mostly around Europe and you go through all these ports and you usually stay in a city. So you're not necessarily like staying on the boat and you see a lot more. And
can't you just fly from city to city though?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. And in Europe, you could take a train.
You can.
Like everything is
you
so
could definitely
close.
take a train.
Everything is so close. You can do it on your own. Yeah, for sure.
The idea of just being cooped up on a boat for I don't know days at a time. I was talking to this couple. They left to travel, and they're I don't know, probably about 60. And the wife was telling me they're going on a month-long cruise from here to there to there to there. I'm like, fuck, that sounds horrible.
That's a lot.
That's so
I
much.
couldn't do that. Oof, I couldn't do that.
I don't like any traveling at all.
No?
Let alone a cruise. No, I feel like if I ever do have my own plane, maybe I won't mind it as much. I don't know if it's the being cooped up in some sort of vehicle, whether even if it's my own vehicle or a train, or I've never been on a train, but airplane, airport. I don't know if it's that or just the crowds. I'm not into crowds.
Yeah.
You're never going to see me at a concert. You're never going to see me at some kind of festival.
Yeah. Not your
when
jam.
a movie comes out, I'll wait 3 weeks to go see it. I don't want to be in a full movie theater.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm introverted. And so that's just, I don't like crowds. So being on an airplane, it's just like, there's too many people here.
Yeah.
And it's dirty and the customer service sucks.
And
all of it. And like there's a guy next to me spilling into my seat. And I'm like, he should have to buy 2 tickets. Yeah, some people actually get seatbelt extenders on the plane. Have you seen those?
Yep.
That's a real thing.
I sure
Only in America.
For sure.
I need to go to your gym.
Oh my gosh. Any gym. Just do something.
For God's sake, go to the park. Yeah.
Just start moving. Yeah. That's like, man, it's easy. Like people are made to move. We're just move.
You feel so much better. Everything's so much better.
Yeah.
Where would you go? Where have you been? Where do you want to go?
So I've been to Australia, I've been to Italy and Greece.
Nice.
And that's Germany, France. I had a layover in Paris, and then Mexico, Canada. I'd love to go to New Zealand. My brother-in-law lives in New Zealand. Yep, and he's a full-on citizen down there. Super cool. I'd love to go to Vietnam. I'd love to go to pretty much anywhere.
I'd be nervous to go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've forgiven us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to present my Lebanese passport when I go to a restaurant.
There you go.
Just play it cool.
We're fine.
I don't speak English.
Yeah. Fiji would be super cool.
Oh yeah.
Iceland, Ireland, everywhere.
Ooh.
I do love to
Yeah,
travel. I love
basically.
to experience new places and go and experience the actual culture. I hate going to a place and like going to Americanized restaurants.
Oh my
And
God.
like,
Texas Roadhouse.
oh my God.
You're
Yeah.
like, I
like,
live in Texas.
for sure. Like we
Yeah.
go into an all-inclusive and they're serving like burgers
for sure.
and like recently we went to one in Cancun and burgers and Chinese food, and even the Mexican food that they were serving was very Americanized. And it's like, I want something new. Like I'm going here to try something new and experience other things. I don't want the same thing that I can get back at home.
Yeah. That makes sense. Last time I went to Dubai, my friends wanted to go have dinner at Texas Roadhouse. I was like,
in Dubai, there's a Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah, I was like, bro, I live in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, I want to go get some shawarma, some knafe. Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
For sure.
There's places I want to go to, but gosh, every time I think about the burden of travel,
it stops you.
I'll seriously, the amount of times that I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to whatever. I have a friend in Ireland. She wanted me to go visit her earlier this year. I was like, that's it. I'm coming. I pulled up my laptop. I'm looking at flights. And then as I'm searching for flights, I started thinking about packing and going to the airport. And it was like, there's a 12-hour flight from I don't know where to God knows where. And by the end of it, I was like, why don't you come to the US instead? Like I was done. Oh my God. I don't like it. I don't like, I
think it's definitely worth it if you have a long time too. I feel like the next time I go abroad, I want to at least have 10 days. I don't want to do all that travel
it helps.
and then just be there for 3 days and come back. Like that's not worth it.
When you go to Europe though, a big challenge for you is probably finding a gym.
I've not gone.
They don't have gyms in Europe.
To be like old enough to search for a gym. When I went, I was in high school. We were on a school trip, so I wasn't really thinking about the gym. Okay. Yeah. When I went to Germany, I guess that was only like 4 years ago. Yeah. I guess it was 5 years ago. Anyways, doesn't really matter. I just worked out at the hotel gym and just made it work.
They had a treadmill and a couple dumbbells.
For sure. I can make anything work. I do like working out on vacation and going into whatever crappy little gym that they have and like making it work. Yeah. Like forces me to be creative and put in a little bit more effort, and it's less intense and give my body a break and just move to feel good versus trying to max out a lift or anything like that.
It's probably good for you to do that for about 2 weeks out of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Give your body a reset.
Or just if you're at a destination where you're doing a lot of physical activity, like you're kayaking and snorkeling and rock climbing and then that's your workout.
Totally.
Like that's your GPP.
But if you're just going to go sit on the beach for a while, like
I can't do that.
Go hit the weights for 30 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you're on a beach, there's water. You could run on the beach.
You
could swim.
Yeah.
Swimming in open water is so much harder than swimming in a pool. Those waves mess you up.
Not my jam. I don't like it. I don't. Not really being able to see the bottom of the water freaks me out. Salt water, just not. I don't like getting water, like going underwater. I have issues with my ears, so whenever I go swimming, I put earplugs in. Yeah. And I'm also not a very good swimmer. I sink. Very dense. But I will say, like during the summertime, I'll go full face mask, dive to the bottom, look for rocks. Like I feel like a little kid now when I go to the here in town.
I like snorkeling. If there's a nice coral reef, you see so many fish, blowfish and Nemo and whatever.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It is cool. Yeah, just so many life forms. They say that most fish exists within, I think it's 100 miles of the shore or something like that. Like the majority of the ocean is empty.
Interesting.
It's like outer space. The majority of space is empty. Even with all the planets and the stars and everything, the vast majority of space is just empty. That's how big space is. Gosh, it's so big.
It's wild to think about.
Ooh.
And like how small we are compared to how big everything is. It's
freaky.
Yeah. It can scare you for a second, but then it's like, man, like, why would I not try and live my best life or play all out or do everything that I want to do when we're like so small compared to everything else? It's like, yeah.
I mean, all of Earth is basically a speck of dust when compared to the larger bodies in space and black holes and universes. I mean, galaxies. And well, I get into those documentaries sometimes, and then like I'll spend 2 days freaked out. I'm like, there's an exploding star.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh,
I love it.
Freak me out.
I love it.
But I've heard people say that most fish exist within 100 miles, and that's why it's really important to protect coral reefs, and that's why it's really important to protect sharks, because sharks play a vital role in maintaining the balance of the reefs. So if you get rid of sharks because you're making shark fin soup, you end up destroying the reefs, and along with that, you lose a lot of life.
Yeah,
it's crazy how many animals we've hunted and fished and caught to near extinction. Yeah. Like almost everything that humans are like, oh, I can make a profit on this. Bluefin tuna, sure. Let's catch all the bluefin tuna.
Yikes.
Sharks, get them all. Turkeys, buffalo, tigers. Like I think we've done it with everything. Elephants, rhinoceros. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Rhinoceros. I'm Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. Well, cool.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. What else?
I told you I have no plan.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we just chit chat.
I like it.
A lot of people I feel like are uncomfortable with that. They want to prepare.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm like, I don't know what to prepare for. You want me to like so what high school did you go to?
Right.
So, like,
yeah. Just like the basic,
I
shallow. No. Like exploring, going deep diving into life, into who people are.
Yeah. And some people can do that better than others. I think,
my gosh, for sure.
I think if you're just not worried about how you sound, you're going to be fine.
I think that's when people are get uncomfortable. Like I'm not going to know enough, or yeah.
People are going to watch me.
And, I'm not going to know what to say, and it's going to be awkward, and I'm going to look funny, and yeah. But if you can let that ego go, if you can just be present and okay with yourself, like
for sure. Is my forehead shiny on camera?
Yeah.
I always have a shiny forehead. I was burning up at the start of the episode. I feel like I'm cool now, but it's like, my goodness, it's just like kept
sweating.
Oh my God, it's terrible. It's like I was doing.
I feel like in Texas, once you start sweating, like game over.
In San Antonio, it's because it's humid.
So hot.
It's humid. You don't sweat in El Paso, you know? Or I mean, you do probably because it's so dry. It just gets absorbed into the air.
Yeah. I keep telling people that too. Like up in Washington, where I'm from, get 100, 105.
It gets that hot?
Oh yeah, Eastern Washington.
Really?
Yeah, we're like real close to the plains, and but dry.
Yeah.
Bearable.
I need eye drops all day long.
Yeah, holy smokes, the humidity here is crazy.
A little bit of humidity I feel like is good for your skin though, good for your eyeballs. I mean, I have dry eyes, so I need eye drops all day long. But here, not so much. A couple times a day, I'm good.
Yeah.
But whenever I go to El Paso to visit, the first couple of days, I'm just putting on chapstick nonstop.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I go to Washington too.
And then you acclimate a couple of days later, and you're good.
It's just like constantly drinking water. Yeah. Skin's dry, everything's dry. Totally, I get that.
I don't mind a little bit of humidity.
Yeah,
I think it's fine. It's this year has been a little much though.
Yeah, it's been super rainy. Definitely different.
Oh my God! So I mean, last year I couldn't get out on the river at all.
It was so low.
It was no water.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, shoot, there were still people out there on the canal. I didn't go to the river hardly at all. It gets so busy with all the tubers and.
Oh my God. Talk about torture.
Yeah. I try and avoid that as much as possible. Yeah.
My sister convinced me to go with her one time. I had just moved here. Let's go float the river. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, let's go try it out. Yeah, like I want to be, I don't want to be as much of a hermit sometimes. Okay, fine. Let me go try the social activity. Oh my God. The second I got in the water, I realized what a mistake it was.
Really?
Oh my God.
Like, was it a super busy weekend? Was you just don't like sitting for that long?
It was busy, but it's such a mindless activity.
Totally. Yeah.
That and the people make it worse. People make it worse. Cause like, no, seriously, like I've got rednecks on one side with their big ass speaker blasting Rodney Atkins, which is the worst country music in the history. Like, that guy sucks. And then I've got Mexicans on the other side blasting mariachi, and I'm in the middle of it going, fuck all of you. Like, this sucks.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Yeah.
it's horrible.
Man, I like, if I go float, it's definitely a social activity. Like, you got to be doing it for the people. It's not like an exciting, like you go down the chute and then you're just sitting in the water. But if you go with the right people, if it's not super busy, I usually go like in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, nobody's on the river. It's so much better.
That would make it better.
Mm-hmm.
But women like to do that kind of stuff. Women like to relax on the beach or on the water. Like, women will sit there on the beach all day with a book and have the time of their life.
Yeah.
Men don't do that. If the men will do it if they're getting drunk the entire time. So and oh my God, and talking about like Americans and our fixation on food. There were people on the river who had another tube with a cooler in it full of food.
Oh
and they're full on making sandwiches on the river. Like, this lady had a jar of mayo and a pack of ham. Oh my, yes. And a loaf of bread.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just wait 2 hours. Come on, people. It's not that long.
Right.
Dang.
Oh, it was horrible.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And then they feed the bread to the ducks and they kill the ducks because it gives them angel wings.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
And then all the ducks and the birds and the squirrels get used to it. I sat at the park the other day and had lunch and surrounded by squirrels.
Oh, tons of them.
10 squirrels around me getting up on the table. It's like throwing sticks at them. Get out of here.
Yeah. There's so much at what was it, Landa Park? Is that where you were?
Yeah.
The deer the deer are
they're ballsy.
Yeah.
Especially like during mating season, fawning season, whatever it is.
When is
they
that?
get aggressive.
Is it February? Is it the same as cats?
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit later, like kind of around this time.
Yeah.
We used to live in a neighborhood that I could let my dog off the leash, especially when we're super early in the morning. We'd go out and take him to this field. And during this time, like, he'd get chased down by deer. They'd be super aggressive towards him. And when we walk by, they wouldn't leave. Yeah.
I've gone to Landa Park a couple of times in the evening, and I'm just sitting there surrounded by deer. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's such a beautiful little park.
Nice.
I like going there. Yeah.
I always want to, but I always have a little bit of temptation to go over there and just like punch one of them, knock it out, and take it and cook it. I could just take it and cook it. You know, if you strike a deer with your vehicle and you kill it, you're supposed to leave it there.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to harvest the meat. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Same in Washington State, which the deer there are normal size. The deer here are tiny. Tiny.
They're not even worth killing.
Yeah. No. But shoot, my brother one time was driving over the pass and he hit an elk. Like, killed the elk, destroyed his car.
I'm
like,
glad he survived.
Smashed the passenger side. Like, he got lucky, but some people pulled over to the side and helped him out, and then they like took some of the meat out of the elk, gave my brother some, and then took off. Yeah.
You might as well get some steaks out of it.
Right? Yeah.
Jeez.
I think my other brother-in-law, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he eats roadkill sometimes.
Well, the reason I was told they made it illegal is because some people will hunt deer in trucks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they put the grills on and they just go. Just
wow.
Yeah, that's a way of hunting, I guess.
Yeah.
For some, I'm like, a rifle seems way more efficient.
Totally. Yeah, and definitely more respectful for the sport too.
Yeah. Or even a bow and arrow, but like the truck. I mean, I understand maybe chasing them in a truck and then shooting them, but even
still, like, you have to be in a very specific area to take that truck.
Yeah.
Be able to navigate. In my mind, I'm thinking like Washington, like you're in the hills. You couldn't.
Yeah, here you got people with tons of acres,
flat
just
land.
massive ranches. Yeah.
I guess that makes
hundreds
sense.
of acres. That doesn't seem fun to me. I think the fun part of a hunt, I've never hunted big game. I've only hunted birds, duck and dove, but I think the fun is in the challenge, is in going through the mountains, listening, finding out where they are, tracking them, monitoring the direction of the wind and all these things. And then finally you're like, oh, the deer's right there. And now I can take my shot.
Yeah.
I think that's what would be the joy of it all.
Oh, for sure. The process. Yeah. The journey to get there, for sure.
we think about food so differently now too, as opposed to back in the day. If you told them there's going to be deer fenced in somewhere, you could just go kill it and eat it whenever you wanted to. Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be mind blowing.
You'd be gut sent.
For sure. For sure. I feel like people have such a disconnect with the food that they eat now. It's like, so just go to the store, grab it mindlessly. And yeah. I
mean, there's people that will criticize hunters while eating a chicken strip.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What are you and most hunters about? like it's a point of pride for them. They're doing it like the right way, and there's such an honor behind going on these hunts, and like exactly what you said, the process of finding the deer, and it's not like they're out there massacring tons and tons of deer.
No, and there's a certain amount that you must kill every year just to keep the population at a reasonable level. So there's a certain amount of deer that must be hunted, and that's why there's deer tags. Same with turkeys, same with all of it. That's why there's limits and reporting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because and a lot of what you spend on hunting licenses goes towards conservation. Anytime you buy ammo or firearms, a percentage of that sale goes also towards the conservation fund, where they look out for these animals' habitats and fund their this or that, whatever. But there was a point where turkeys in America were hunted down to like 1,000 of them, and now there's over 2 million.
Oh, wow.
And that's because of conservation. It sucks that we have to do that, though, with everything.
Yeah.
We have to put in strict laws to conserve all wildlife, or right now we'd pretty much be down to cows and chickens.
Yeah. Fuck. There's a lot of people out there.
Imagine if humans had a mating season like animals do. How would the world look? For sure, far less
populated.
Far less,
for sure. Yeah.
I wonder how people's attitudes would change, though. Like, how much dumb shit do guys do just because they're horny? You know what I mean? Like, I worked as a bouncer for a year when I was younger, and just the amount of stupid things I saw men do just because they're trying to get with a girl, and then there's the other guy, there's her boyfriend, and there's the other guy who was trying to get with her, and the whole thing. There's always something. But if you just didn't care, if you're like, it ain't February, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, probably be a lot more productive.
Oh, I think so. Oh my God. We'd be on Mars already for sure. The amount of time that guys spend trying to get a girl.
Yeah,
and probably vice versa to some degree. But yeah, that'd be funny if we had a mating season. But then for like a month, everybody be leaving their jobs.
Oh yeah, just gone, just out. I feel like it'd be
a national holiday.
What's that movie?
For a whole month.
The Purge. It'd be like that. It'd be like a month of just chaos. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think people in relationships would just stay at home for the whole month, but everybody else would be on Bumble like crazy. Just be swiping their ass off. Everybody's getting arthritis in their fingers, just like swiping. What is The Purge? I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's a movie. I think the premise of it is like one day out of the year, there's no laws. And so people just go
I love that.
massacre. And it's a very gory movie, scary movie.
Do you think that's a good idea? Should we try that?
No, I don't think so.
It would be just like LA.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not on board. Not on board.
Yeah, that would suck for old people.
Yeah. And people with lower incomes and
children.
Yeah. Lack of resources.
Everybody except special forces guys. That does sound like LA during the riots.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, they basically legalized criminal activity over there. Like theft up to $1,000, I think. So people were just walking out of stores.
Whoa.
Yeah, like how many stores have to shut down in California?
They wouldn't be
because you won't get arrested, period. They won't even get involved. You just walk out of Best Buy.
That's crazy.
With $999 worth of stuff, and they don't call the cops. Wow. I think it's 900 or 1,000.
Yeah.
It's a big amount.
That's wild.
It made several stores go bankrupt. Because people were just walking out. They were losing thousands of dollars every day in merchandise.
Crazy.
It's nuts. And then just homeless people everywhere. And you're at risk of getting jumped and the whole thing. I have a friend in Atlanta, Georgia. And he's telling me that when he goes to the gym, like people now are leaving their car windows rolled down.
Oh, wow. Just so people don't break the windows?
Correct.
Dang.
Like people are breaking into cars so much to steal to look for money or I don't know, anything valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just leaving their windows rolled down. And so that they're like, go ahead, look in my car. There's nothing there. Just don't break my windows.
Wow.
Isn't that fucked?
That's crazy.
There's a catalytic converter issue here in San Antonio. I don't know if you've heard. I know 3 people, and that's a lot considering I don't know very many people in San Antonio who have had their catalytic converter stolen.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if they sell the whole thing. Somebody told me they open it up and there's some kind of there's a part in there that's made out of I don't know what that's worth some money, and they extract that and sell it.
Dang. For
a couple $100, and then you got to go buy a new catalytic converter for like $4,000. So yeah, I know 3 people that's happened to.
Damn.
So it sucks. And I wonder how much worse it's going to get, because the more money gets devalued, the more people have to resort to illicit means to get by.
Yeah.
And I look at like me going back to
people.
El Paso. Sure. Desperate people do desperate things. I'm going back to El Paso. There's, I don't know how many people have thousands. Like last I checked, it was something like 10,000 that have come in from South America, various countries, and they're camped out, I think, all over downtown. And you have to think like these people have no money. They can't work. A lot of them are there with families. They may not be bad people.
Yeah.
But when your children are starving,
you're going to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's going to cause crime. It's a shitty situation.
Yeah.
We need something more positive. Let's talk more positive. Just went down. We just went down.
Right.
We went down a black
Let's bring
hole.
it back up. Bring it back up.
What other places do you go to for cheat meals?
Oh, for cheat meals.
Or do you even have a cheat meal? Is that how you look at your diet?
No, not anymore. I used to do that. I used to do that like cheat meal or a cheat day, and I'd have ice cream and burgers and like pizza all in one day, and then you just feel like shit for
I used to do that
3 days. And so now I don't know. I don't really have too many cheat meals. If I do, I'll go and have a burger in the day.
From where?
Or I really like a Longhorn Cafe up on the hill at by the HEB on the hill.
Okay.
Love that place.
Haven't been there.
Yeah, it's nice and greasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love to eat ungodly amounts of sushi.
Okay.
So I used to go to it's not Shogun. What is it? It's like a all you can eat sushi, but it's like not the best quality sushi.
Yeah.
Don't really do that anymore because I'm aware of how things make me feel. That place does not make me feel good. But Pasha, go there a lot.
Sure.
Go to Fine B.
Yeah, Pasha. I mean, aside from the bread, though, you're
It's
eating
not really a
chicken
cheat meal.
and rice.
Yeah,
like
honestly, chicken, rice, veggies.
Yeah.
It's not out of the norm. I think that's why I like going there so much, is because I feel really good after leaving there.
Yeah.
Even if I eat 4 things of bread, it's fine.
There's a place in Cedar Park that I like called Takara for sushi.
Oh, okay.
They're because I used to work in here in Austin. I'd go to Austin about once a week. I'd do an overnight there, and I'd go have lunch at Takara. And they've got this lunch special where you get 3 rolls and a bowl of soup, and their hot and sour soup is better than the sushi. The hot and sour soup is the bomb. Yeah. So I'd order 2 of those. So I'd get 6 rolls and 2 bowls of soup.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic lunch.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's a great lunch.
Man, we recently went to the sushi place in Austin on South Congress called Neighborhood. And amazing. Like just different flavors. They had this seaweed salad as one of their appetizers with an Asian pear. And there was like 3 different types of seaweed in it. And just like so good. Flavors I'd never really had before. Super good. Yeah.
Are you into the simple stuff, or do you get the sushi roll with like 10 things on it?
I try and get the raw sushi roll. So whatever doesn't have like fried or cream cheese, or I try and go a little bit more of the classic. Yeah, for sure.
I just get the salmon roll. The waitress at Takara knows me. She's like 6 salmon. Oh,
yep. No, I like
it. And it's just salmon and avocado.
Love it. Yeah. I usually do the tuna version of that. Spicy tuna.
Spicy tuna is good.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
That's an American thing, somebody told me.
Really?
They're like in Japan, they don't eat spicy tuna rolls. But it's good.
It's good. I do, or the tuna and the avocado with a little cucumber in there too.
Sure, that's fine.
It's good.
Yeah. Once you start getting into crunchy stuff on top and sauces for me ruin so much food. Americans have a thing with sauces.
It's just like if it doesn't have enough flavor by itself, like
the probably sucks.
Figure it out. Yeah. I'm just covered in sauce.
Americans got to dip everything in ranch. And
oh gosh, I'm not a fan of ranch. Like okay, pizza and ranch.
No.
Sure. I'm about that. But otherwise, not a fan.
I dip my pizza in ketchup. People think that's really
weird.
my
God. Yeah, that's weird.
Ketchup and Tabasco. I mix them together.
Interesting.
But only my homemade pizza.
Okay.
The flavor just works.
Yeah. All right.
I won't do it if I go somewhere and get a pepperoni pizza, I won't dip that in ketchup.
I like to do like buffalo and ranch together. Dip my pizza in that. That's pretty good.
No ranch. No. I can't even have it around me.
Yeah.
It bothers me. Like ranch really bothers me. Yeah. Oh my God. Queso? No.
I'm not a fan of queso. Yeah, I don't understand people's infatuation with queso. I know.
Somebody's on my team. Thank God.
Yeah. And Tex-Mex is just, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite. Yeah. I love real authentic Mexican food. Where we grew up, it's a lot of agriculture. So we had a lot of immigration coming in. And so I think like 40% of our high school population was Mexican. And then at least 20% was non-English speaking. So we had a lot of really...
What they speak?
Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like Spanish is their first language.
In Washington?
Wow. Yeah. Central Washington. Yeah. And so just tons of authentic Mexican food.
I never would have thought.
Street tacos there.
I would have thought it's all like crab legs and whatever.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier.
Well, on the west side of the mountains, so the Cascade.
It's that different, huh?
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Washington is vastly different. There's like prairie lands, there's desert, there's mountains, there's a rainforest, there's ocean. Like Washington has everything.
I seriously had no idea. I thought it was all like what I saw.
Nope. Yep. The eastern side of the state is so different than the west side, than Seattle. And
I'm gonna have to go back.
Yeah.
Check out your hood.
For sure. It's amazing. Now it used to be still a lot of apple orchards, cherries, peaches, pears, tons of fruit. But now there's tons of wineries in my hometown. There's like 40 wineries now. It's crazy.
Is that your thing?
I like wine. Yeah. I think wine tasting is fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice little social event to go and try new things. But
do you sit there trying to pick out the floral and the
know.
hint of that?
It's
I can taste the hint of oak. It's very whatever.
Pinkies up. No, it's like that's good. That's bad. Up? I like that. Like fancy. Like yeah. That's like when things are too fancy. That's all.
Oh my God. My oldest sister drives me crazy with how she holds her fork like this.
Oh my gosh.
And she does like a weird thing. Yeah, she's always been weird.
Oh, I don't even know how I hold my fork now.
I make fun of her so much.
I have a brother who holds it like a shovel.
Yeah, those people.
Gets it in. He's efficient with his eating.
My brother-in-law is a surgeon, an eye surgeon of all things, and so he's incredibly precise with his. Like, I know he's got dexterity with his fingers, but when you watch that dude use a knife and a fork, you're like, "There's no way you do surgery, bro."
Yeah,
there's no way.
Don't go near these eyes.
Oh my God!
Don't even. Yeah, that's funny.
There's over here. There's a baked bear at, I think it's La Cantera.
Oh, is that like the ice cream place?
So the reason I like going there is just for their dark chocolate flavor.
I'm not a big chocolate fan.
Dark chocolate.
I know. I don't like it's too. I don't know. I like sweeter, like fruitier, tangier flavors for sure.
Mango lime.
Yeah, for sure. Like if I were to go for candy, it would be Sour Patch Kids over a chocolate bar. Yeah, that kind of flavor profile. I
like dark chocolate because it's not too sweet, but I do like the flavor of chocolate, like 70%.
Yeah. I'll enjoy it, but it's definitely not my first go-to.
Sour Patch Kids, huh? I don't know if I've ever had one.
Yeah, very tasty.
Gosh, the stuff I used to eat as kids, and
oh my God,
like those gummy burgers, the little burgers.
Yes.
My God, I think back
terrible,
on
disgusting. Disgusting.
Horrible.
Yeah.
How do
not
you see
good
that?
at all.
Soda too.
Yeah. Not a fan of soda.
Can't do it.
I can like every once in a while I'll have a diet soda just for like, I really like the fizziness of it, but no, not
I like
so
those
anymore.
lime, the liquid death, sparkling water.
Oh yeah.
Lime
like
flavor.
They're
fantastic.
Yeah. Those are great. Those are great for sure.
If I do want something carbonated, those are good. I will have a Sprite every once in a while.
Yeah.
But a Coke, I just can't do it.
No.
I
Okay.
can't.
Gotcha.
It's just disgusting. I just
Yeah.
never had a Dr. Pepper. I can't even stand it. When I came to the
Dr.
States, I was
Pepper.
like, what is the deal with this stuff here?
Yeah.
Dr. Peppers and root beers. Nobody ever drank that in the Middle East. I'm like, what is this stuff?
Huh. Yeah.
But I was, it changed when I was cutting weight for my second fight. I was cutting to 160, which was a drastic weight cut for me. I was skin and bones. I looked like I was sick at my weigh-in. And I had to eliminate pretty much everything from my diet except egg whites and tilapia, steamed tilapia for like a week. Oh, it was horrible.
Gross.
It was nasty.
So gross.
It's so bad.
Tilapia is a dirt fish. It tastes so
I didn't know any
not
better.
a fan.
Yeah. Just
anyways.
Scrambled egg whites. Just
and sadness.
Yeah, very much.
Yep.
Lots of sadness. Tons of suffering. For like 5 days, the last 5 days of the weight cut is horrible. And so I knew it got really bad. I knew I was entering into starvation when I craved cinnamon, because cinnamon grosses me out.
Interesting.
So I craved one of those cinnamon rolls. I was at the grocery store and I could smell it, and I was like, I think my body wanted the sugar so bad that I didn't even care about the cinnamon. I just wanted to eat something sugary. But after the fight, we go back to my coach's house. He's grilling burgers. I had half a cheeseburger, and they weren't greasy, but I could only eat about half. Like I just couldn't take more. And I took a sip of a Coke, I remember, and I could taste the chemicals in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I had kicked all that out of my system over the previous month.
Yeah.
And very, very much so in the last week, that I could taste the chemicals. It was so disgusting.
Yeah. It's crazy what happens with
that was
your
the last
body.
time I had a Coke. It's been over 10 years.
Yeah. I believe it.
Can't
like when you get so clean and you're eating well, and I mean, you were definitely not eating enough, but when you get to the point where you're eating super clean and then you start introducing some of that stuff back in, like
it's nasty.
Not good.
You know what though?
And so many people eat and drink that stuff every day.
Yes.
And I can't even imagine like how they feel. Like I know I feel really good. I can walk around every day. I have energy.
Yeah.
Like I feel light. I feel whatever. And
you can get up at 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like a maniac.
Oh, I can't imagine just like the feeling, like the gross, heavy,
lethargic all day long.
Yeah.
But they don't know the difference.
Yeah. True.
That's the thing. If you could give them the feeling that you're describing, if you could pack that in a pill and give it to them for just one day, I believe they will start making the changes that they need to make to improve their health, because they'd be like, oh my God, what is this?
Such a drastic difference.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But the problem is you cannot give them that feel. I mean, I don't know if they did Coke, they'd have a lot of energy.
Oh gosh.
That's a good way to lose weight.
But then they'd just keep doing Coke. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do the work to.
Well.
Yeah.
They have to be strategic.
Yeah. The rules.
A line a day keeps the doctor
away. Oh gosh.
That's supposed to be an appetite suppressant too. That's why people who do Coke are so skinny. They don't eat. Well, they're very active because they're so hyper from the cocaine, and then they don't eat.
Well, caffeine can be an appetite suppressant too.
Is it really? I feel like I get hungry when I drink coffee.
Oh my gosh. If I drink coffee, I can stave off eating food for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if it works that way, especially Turkish coffee. If I drink Turkish coffee, I'm ready to get in a fight with somebody.
Yeah. What is Turkish coffee?
Just strong coffee. Have you ever had Cuban coffee? You get it in a little cup like that. You drink it and you feel like you're ready to run a marathon.
I don't think so. Is it just like a shot of espresso?
Or... if my house wasn't completely packed, I'd make you some. You're here. You're my last podcast in San Antonio. Damn. This is it. But it's, I mean, you got to just try it, I guess. You can, they probably serve it at Pasha, I would imagine.
Oh, you know what? I bet they do. Yeah. I'll have to give it a try.
Or you can go to Aladdin, the place I told you about with the flatbreads, and ask the guy there. If you're going to go, let me know, and I'll let the guy know. He's a friend of mine. I'll let him know you're stopping by.
Cool.
And he can hook you up with he could probably make you some. Or at least tell you, give you the ingredients so you can make it at home.
Yeah. That'd be
try that strong. Most people, I would say most Americans probably don't enjoy it because you're used to drinking a bigger cup of coffee and drinking it over like an hour or whatever it is.
For sure.
I like that too. Most days I drink, I'll get which one they have at Black Rifle Coffee that I like. The strongest one, the most caffeinated
Just like
one.
a cold brew or?
No, not a cold brew. It's hot, but it's just it's the strongest one they have.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Is it like drip coffee or?
I don't get the drip. To me, that's too scientific. It's complicated. I'm like, bro, it's just a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's like giving me a gourmet burger. Yeah,
Oh my
get
gosh.
the fuck out of here. It's street food. What are you doing with a gourmet
Just
burger?
need a
You
burger.
be gourmet tacos? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, who are you trying to impress?
Oh my God. Street
Like,
tacos are superior.
for sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
but
Some
no,
food
I
is not
think-
meant to be gourmet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think I'd like the Turkish coffee. I'm generally a quad shot over ice,
Oh,
a little bit of half and half.
okay.
Yeah.
That works.
That's my go-to. Quad. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get up
We're
at
getting
3 in the
started
morning, you
buzzing.
need it.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
But outside of that, I don't really drink too like energy drinks anymore or pre-workout. Don't do that anymore.
Me
so
neither.
yeah, just that quad shot. I'm good.
The craziest feeling I've ever had from food was after that weight cut I just talked about. I had a Gatorade and a banana.
Yeah.
Oh my
Did you feel
God.
amazing?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I felt like I could run all the way to Lebanon.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. Here's the funny thing for me, not for my friends, because 2 of my friends were driving me to the weigh-in. It was in Alamogordo, New Mexico. So it's like an hour 15 maybe from El Paso. So they drove me to the weigh-in. I'm quiet the whole way there. I don't have the energy to talk. I'm just like in the back seat, just sitting there with my jacket on, like a sick kid.
Yeah.
We weigh in. I have a Gatorade and a banana, and I did not shut up for 1 second
my
the whole
God.
drive home. I just like I had so much energy. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then I get home and I gorge myself on dinner. My sister had made dinner. She loved to cook whenever I had a weigh in, like my sister would cook, and she'd go to my fights and scream and lose her voice.
I love it.
Yeah, she's so into it. And I ate. And I remember I sat on the couch and I couldn't get up. I sat there for over an hour. I couldn't get up off the couch.
Interesting.
I had the worst crash, the biggest high and the worst crash ever from food. It was insane.
Yeah.
Off a Gatorade and a banana.
Yeah. That's crazy. When I did my bodybuilding show, I did like 21 weeks of prep, and I did it all in my own, which I made a lot of mistakes. And I got to the point where I was eating like 1,200 calories for the last 3 weeks or something crazy. And then peak week, I was trying to eat some more carbs. And the day I had maybe like 100 grams of carbs when I had been eating nothing, I went to my gym and I was busting out handstand push-ups and doing strict muscle ups. And I just needed to go explode. And like being that lean or that depleted and then introducing the things that your body needs, it's like crazy.
For sure. But I love food. I am a foodie, too. I must say. I love fried chicken.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Not too big of a fan of fried foods, but I love food.
I like good
food, lots of flavor. I used to be sad and try and restrict what I would eat, and then I'd feel really bad if I ate something else outside of it. But yeah. Now I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm doing the right things 90% of the time. I'm really gonna enjoy this burger, or I'm really gonna enjoy whatever.
So that's why I asked you about cheat meals earlier, because I used to be very, very strict, just like what you were talking about. I think we've done the same thing throughout our lives, where my cheat meal was on Saturday, and throughout the week it was like super, super strict. Just completely flavorless food. And not that it was healthy, but I just thought it was healthy. I thought that this is how you're supposed to eat. I didn't know any better. I was like 17. I didn't have a nutrition coach. I was just trying to make weight. And my idea of am I healthy is like, do I have an 8-pack? Like I look in the mirror, oh, my abs look good. I'm healthy. You know, like
good.
Yeah, that's it. Like, my weight's good and I have abs. Like I'm healthy. Yeah. So I like forget the fact that I'm deprived of so many essential nutrients. I have abs. I'm cool. just 17-year-old thinking, you know? But after a while of doing the whole cheat meal thing, I started noticing that I'm not even enjoying my cheat meals. I'm just doing them because this is my only window to do it. And
you're forcing yourself to do it.
Yeah. And I may eat my bowl of whatever it is, fettuccine or something, and I'm good. But then just because I know I can't do it for another week, I'll go gorge myself on ice cream.
Yeah, totally.
And I noticed that I'm like, that's not healthy.
No, not at all. I did the same thing. It was
and you're not even enjoying it.
Yeah. You're just forcing yourself to do it. Totally.
Because that's your only window of opportunity. And then you have to wait another week.
It's like so much pressure on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I took that pressure off, like even my desire to have those kind of foods really went down.
Yeah.
Like I really crave the things that are going to give me energy and make me feel good.
So I used to wonder during those times how much of my cravings were forbidden fruit syndrome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a big part of it. It's
Totally.
not so much that you really want that, because then cheat day would come around and I don't want to eat the thing that I was thinking about all week. It's just because I knew I couldn't have it. Now I can have it. I'm like, oh no, that's fine. I'll just have some grilled chicken. Like,
yeah.
And you do crave the things that you repeatedly eat because, and I don't know how legit this is, but I've heard a bunch of credible people talk about it, but it has to do with the bacteria in your stomach. So if you're eating certain foods, you are feeding certain types of bacteria in your stomach, and your stomach wall is lined with billions and billions of bacteria, and they determine your cravings. Kinda. I'm explaining it poorly because also there's nutrition, nutrient deficiencies that determine your cravings as well. Like a lot of times you're craving fat or you're craving salt or whatever. It's because you're low on sodium. And so if you eliminate certain food groups completely over time, you kill the bacteria that digests those foods, and then you don't have those cravings anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you go eat those things and you have trouble digesting. I've got a runny nose. It's really annoying me. What is going on? You end up killing all the bacteria off that's responsible for digesting those foods. And then you'll go, like if you go vegan for 2 months, for example, and then you go eat a piece of steak and it upsets your stomach and you go, oh, see, steak is bad. I should just stay vegan. It's like, no, but you've been eating steak your whole life and you're fine. It's just that now your body's no longer used to it. It's a foreign substance at this point. So you have to reacclimate yourself to it. There are certainly things that you could benefit from not being used to, like soda, for example, in my case. I kicked it and that was it. I don't crave it. It disgusts me. Like I see a can of Coke, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
That was beneficial. Nice. I gorge myself on spaghetti, if anything, and rice. I love rice.
I love rice.
I could just eat bowl after bowl after bowl. I'm like,
I feel the same. Spaghetti, not so much. Don't jive with that.
No.
Yeah. I don't really have any sweet
angel
cravings.
hair spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have too many sweet cravings anymore. This year, I actually decided I wasn't going to have sweets at all, like desserty kind of things. So no ice cream, no baked goods, yada yada. Yeah. I'll still have fruit and yogurt with honey, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just decided sweeping declaration. This year was the year. Wasn't going to eat sweets.
And you haven't done it all year.
Yeah, haven't had any sweets this year.
So I mean, if you don't have a sweet tooth, you don't have. I don't have a sweet tooth.
I used to. Oh my God. Yeah. I love sweet stuff. Really? Like ice cream, my jam. I would have ice cream every day.
That's my jam. Is that a Washington saying? I don't hear Texans say that.
No.
That's my jam.
Maybe. That's funny. Oh man, there was another saying I said the other day. Nobody understood. Oh, a sliver. I had a sliver in my foot.
I know what that is.
Yeah. And they were like,
a sliver. A sliver is like something small. Like give me a sliver of that.
Sliver or a sliver in your finger. But somebody was like, a splinter?
A splinter?
Yeah. Sliver, same thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I love funny sayings like that. I always wonder, like, where did they come from? And then I Google them to figure out where they came from. Like Mad as a Hatter. So back in the day, hat makers would use mercury, and I don't know if they still do, and just got smart about how they use it, but they would heat up mercury for some reason while they're making hats. And the fumes from the mercury get up in the air, of course, and they inhale them. And too much mercury inhalation makes you go fucking crazy. Hence the term Mad as a Hatter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Like a bigwig. Bigwig has to do with syphilis. Huh. You've heard the term bigwig?
Yeah, I've heard
like a
sure.
corporate guy.
Yeah,
they say he's a bigwig. So back in the day, dudes would get syphilis and their hair would fall out. And so they would buy wigs. And the wealthier you are, the bigger the wig that you could afford.
Interesting.
So if you had a big wig, you were wealthy.
Huh.
So now that's where that comes from. Yeah. Now, there's one that I could never figure out. I Googled it and I couldn't really figure it out. 9 yards. I'm going to give them all 9 yards. Is that how it goes? 9 yards or 7 yards?
9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. I don't know. That one I cannot I can't determine its origin.
Don't even know.
There's some funny sayings in Arabic.
Yeah.
In Lebanon, especially. Oh my God. Yeah. There's one. They're usually not very funny when you translate them, but like if somebody's really stingy, you say, "Ma biyati al-himmi lahada," which means, I don't know if I might be wrong, but I think it means This guy's so stingy, he won't even give you a cold. That's a really funny
Interesting.
Just, it gets funny.
And that's just like, that's a common
just like
saying.
if somebody's stingy, you're like, this son of a bitch, he won't even give you a cold, stingy motherfucker.
Gosh. That's good.
One of my favorites is Mabit Haklar Rif Sukhan. So if somebody's really grumpy, like I was with my manager one time, we're in a clinic sales call, and this lady's super grumpy. It's just like, we just could not make her, we're just trying to make conversation. I'm not a pushy salesman by any means. I'm just trying to make conversation. And if I feel like my product is not right for you, I leave. I'm not going to try to convince you and all this, And I just this lady we just could not get anywhere with her. We get in the car and, my manager's like, how do you think that went? Whatever. I said, there's a saying in Arabic. She loves the Arabic sayings. Which means she's so grumpy, she won't even smile for a hot loaf of bread. Like if you don't smile for a hot loaf of bread,
come
bro,
on. That's bad.
That's really bad. Everybody smiles for a hot loaf of bread. Even gluten intolerant people.
Oh my gosh.
Bread.
Fresh bread. Whenever they have those racks out at HEB and you walk by, it's like
you could just smell it.
It's like a little hug.
So good. So good. They eat so much bread in France and there's no fat people there.
Yeah. There's a lot of bread, like a lot of carby, bready, like the Italians, pasta and pizza.
Yeah.
But it's so different. Yeah. It's so different there. You could eat everything and not.
Yeah. I wonder what the overall consumption is like. And how much that has to do with it and how much of it is the quality of the wheat. Because I've heard a lot about, and I kind of, there's like a little bit of willful ignorance on my part because I don't want to know. Sometimes I'm like, if this pasta I'm eating is bad, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel fine. I'm okay. But I do feel the difference when I buy pasta that's imported from Italy versus American made. And it has something to do with the flour. I know friends who go to Lebanon every year, and every year they come back with the same story. Man, we were in Lebanon, we ate bread every day, and I lost 10 pounds. It happens all the time. I'm like, well, what is going on?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is when Americans want to go on a healthy diet, they go on a Mediterranean diet, which is like, actually, they'll pick any diet in the world except the American diet, and it's a healthy diet because we're eating whole foods. What are you eating? Oh, I'm eating Mediterranean. It's like, well, yeah. I'm eating anything except Thai, whatever, Vietnamese.
Fatty,
You go to a Vietnamese restaurant, you get a plate of food, you get some charbroiled beef, you get some fresh veggies, a little bit of rice, boom, like it's fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah.
Cup of tea, you're good.
Love it.
Yeah, I can't do that here. But I do love gumbo and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
I like that southern cooking.
Yeah.
It's hard to find around here. I haven't found too many good restaurants around here.
Yeah, I feel like New Braunfels is lacking in that for sure.
You know what I was thinking just recently, like this morning? I had a moment of wonder where I thought, and this is somewhat, I don't know how to say that word, satirical. But we criticize North Korea for letting their people starve to death. But over here, we feed our people to death. They got people dying from too little food. We've got people dying from too much food. So who's the good guy and who's the bad guy?
Interesting. Huh.
I'm just saying.
That's a thought experiment right there.
Correct. I'm just saying. I mean, it looks like Kim Jong-un is eating all the dumplings in that country. By the looks of that dude. But I'm just saying the number one killer in America is obesity.
Yeah.
I'm not saying good or bad. That's all
crazy.
I'm saying.
People are just killing themselves.
Yes.
It's wild.
Yeah. They're like a moth to a flame.
Oh yeah.
Feed me. That's one of the reasons I wouldn't like to go on a cruise. All you can eat just grosses me out. I don't do it. I don't do any of it. No Brazilian steakhouses, no buffets, none of that. I'll go to a restaurant. I'll order 3 entrees like a pig. But I won't do all you can eat. Yeah. Cheesecake Factory is one of those. If I get an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a cheesecake, and I eat the baguettes, I'm dead.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of going to restaurants like that, like kind of chain restaurants.
It's
Cheesecake
like a
Factory, Applebee's.
Yeah. It's a fancy, it's like a little bit better Applebee's. Cheesecake Factory is a little bit better Applebee's.
But it's all like, you could just taste that it's
came out of
just
a box.
the chain. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It doesn't feel fresh. Doesn't feel good in my body. No, I like going to.
It's meant to feel good when you go to sleep. Just rest and digest.
Oh no, I like going to local restaurants.
You know the problem with local, very hit or miss. It's really hard to find a reliable local restaurant. And I get the whole support local. I understand that sentiment. But how many times are you going to fuck up my order before I just stop? Like, I don't care if you shut down. I don't care if you go out of business, bro.
Yeah.
Like my plate can't be different every time.
Yeah.
My coffee can't be different every time. So the thing about franchise is consistency. And a lot of local restaurants don't have that.
Yeah.
So I just grow sick of it. Cheesecake Factory. I like it. I like the fried mac and cheese balls.
Cheesecake Factory in years.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least 10 years.
Yeah, it's not that great. I'm not going to lie. It's not
that great.
It's
not good. It's not good.
I went recently just because we don't have one in El Paso. I'm like, this is my last chance. Let me go get some. That's it. But I do love just rice and chicken. Yeah. Just grilled meat, beef, chicken, whatever. Red meat. I like red meat and rice.
That's perfect.
It's great.
That's what I like to eat every day. Different variations of it, but chicken, rice, veggies.
Do you think we're going to have people on Mars in our lifetime?
No, I don't think so.
Too far out?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you go? Under what circumstances would you feel like, yeah, I'm going to take that trip? Like how many people would have to go there first for you to say, all right, this seems safe. Like there's a cruise ship to Mars. Let's go.
Man.
Just add it to your travel list.
How many people are going on that trip?
Not many.
Yeah.
It's a big ship.
Is it like 5 people going or?
I don't know. How many would you want?
I think 10 people would be max.
That's it?
Yeah.
Your husband included?
Maybe 30 if it was
like
a scientific. Yeah.
It's a long
for
trip.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to have one. It's a long trip.
Take him with me for sure.
10 people. Yeah. Your husband and who else?
Husband. Some people that are much smarter than me, for sure. There's got to be at least 3 scientists. 3 scientists, me and my husband. I don't know who else. People interested in adventure. I have a couple of friends who travel the world. They might be super fun to go with. They go to my gym.
Yeah, you got to have a couple fun people. It can't just be scientists. Yeah, you need to have a gym on the spaceship. Yeah. For sure. You know what they do in outer space? Those astronauts that are up there for long periods of time, they have little workout rooms on the spaceships, but everything is all the machines are under rubber band tension because of the zero gravity. Weight, you can't do weights.
Yeah.
So everything's rubber bands.
Yeah.
That way they can get the tension, and they have to work out every day. Otherwise, by the time they come back, they lose an enormous amount of muscle mass.
Yeah.
Because they're just not carrying any weight up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Wow.
So they have to work out with like Bowflex type of things.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing they do is they recycle their own urine. Because like how much water can you take up with you in a spaceship? So they have to recycle it and drink it.
I really could have lived my life without knowing that. Would have been okay without that fact.
You're not going to Mars now.
Yeah, might be rethinking that one.
Well, if you think about it, though, it's just H2O. Once you separate the molecules,
it's
just H2O.
Dodgeball. Patches O'Houlihan. He drinks his own urine because it's clean and he likes the taste of it.
In the UFC, Lyoto Machida used to do that. It was a traditional thing. Like his father would do it, his grandfather on an interview with Ariel Helwani. Ariel asked him, really? Like, you guys drink your own pee? And he goes, yeah, watch. He turns around, pees in a cup, turns back around, and it drips down his chin. And he's like, yeah,
no.
It's nasty. No. The theory, which I feel like this is a flawed theory, I don't know, but the theory is that overnight, a lot of nutrients get extracted and end up in your urine. So if you drink it in the morning, that very first one, they don't drink it throughout the day. Yeah, just the very first one in the morning. That's the one they want. That's the one full of nutrients. That makes them fight harder. I wouldn't want to fight that dude. I'm like, if we're grappling and his face is
God,
bro, you got pee breath.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me. Hard pass.
The recycled water, I understand. It's just, like I said, it's just H2O. Yeah, there are more. So any water that you drink right now, like, I could take a drink of water from this bottle right here. There's molecules of water in this bottle that have gone through the kidneys of probably everybody who's ever lived. Because there are more molecules of water in a 16-ounce bottle of water than there is this volume of water in all of the world. So all the water that you drink is recycled pee.
Huh.
All of it. This water has passed through the kidneys of Genghis Khan and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I might.
You're welcome.
Like to stay blissfully ignorant about that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You learned a lot today.
Something new every day. Every day.
I learned about Washington State. You learned about recycled pee.
Beautiful. Yeah. What a life. What a life.
That's hilarious. Well, cool.
Oh, nice.
If there's nothing else, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
This was
thanks
fun.
for having me.
Of course. I hope you enjoyed it. Your first podcast?
Yeah. First podcast.
I'm honored.
I know. I feel like I did a good job. I was a little stressed.
You did a great job. We're almost 3 hours into this thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. That's impressive.
So,
High five to me.
High five to you. All right. Let's get out of here.
All
Later, everybody.